See if Tyrion is... Oh. Their houses are right next to each other. Awkward. Alright. We got here is Coco. Hey. So I just put my coffee cup. I wish there was like more people in these cities, man. Just hear me out. With the procedure, her soul would more or less be intact. The fuck? More or less, yeah. Oh, why not good? Not good. They're both named Animancer. Jesus. More or less, you know, her soul will be intact, more or less. Kinda, sorta. Retrieve Helig's research from the Moja's laboratory. Let's take it off fast mode. Verna, how you doing, Verna? Hanging about your PTSD, Verna? Some books. What your soul may be trying to tell you. Sounds like a self-help book. Yeah, nobody cares. We're just taking steps. Psalms to Wodka. Okay. The Midwife's Memoirs. Nice. I'm really scared one of these books is not going to be friendly to take. This man's soul was torn asunder by a bewak. As you can see, the patient is unresponsive, common after soul trauma. The Animancer places a small stone upon the patient's forehead. A portion of his soul was recovered near his body. We use this stone as a vessel for transfer. Can you hear me, Oswin? The patient's eyes slowly open before a panicked, wild expression washes over him. Unfortunately, the extended dissociation has a permanent side effects. The patient becomes more agitated, grunting and moaning as he tugs at his bonds. With further research, we're confident that we'll be able to rehabilitate patients like Oswin. Shit.
Margaret's fire casts light in dark places.
Shh, we're sneaking. Oswin's fucked, yo. The painting of a rolling forest glen has a strangely soothing effect.
Hello.
Oh man, we gotta level up people. I am stupid. Oh, it's black in here, which means that all the crazies are down here. Can I get a... Come on. Path correctly, thank you. All right. Do I just want to put all my points into... We need to get somebody's mechanic skill, like, super high. His is low and poopy. So, I kind of want to go lore. Level 3 scrolls. Okay. %30 damage is burned. Do we want that? Yeah, let's do passive damage is burn. When spirit shifted, just some extra damage. We'll do that. He has mechanics of 1. Got survival up. Let me get his stealth up a little bit more. No new class unlocked, so a talent. Hold the line, +1 enemies engaged. I'm gonna go for that. He's been our mechanics guy. So let's do that. And let's get his athletics. All right. Ray of Fire, that sounds amazing. We don't really have any good level 2 skills other than... We just don't have any good level 2 skills. I just go Ray of Fire. What else we got? Noxious Burst, some corrosion damage. I'm just gonna go Ray of Fire. Let's do that. And then for talent, it's Deep Pockets. 2 quick item slots. Nice. Sneak attack? No. Is anything good for wands? Five accuracy against distant enemies? What does distant enemies mean? Hmm. Hmm. I go bonus first level spell uses. Think. Nah, let's go accuracy with wands. I feel like accuracy is never going to be a bad thing. This mechanics is only 3. +9 trap accuracy. We go survival and then hold on. +1 second level spell uses? Nah. Modifies Holy Radiance. Accuracy versus will. +10 accuracy to sword and arquebus. Grants lesser burst of summer flame. Once per rest. That sucks. We already have Holy Radiance. Modifies Holy Radiance to give 10 accuracy for 12 seconds. Yes.
What?
Not Holy Radiance. Huh. Here's Kana. The lore of 9. Level 5 scrolls for him. And here's his invocations. So we can do, let's see what these are. This would be a paralyzed AoE. Summons 3 worms. Summons 2 will-o-wisp. AoE terrify. AoE hobble and paralyze. And AoE charm. That would be pretty cool. Oh. Rejoice my comrades, 2 fingers of daylight. Requires 4 phrases chanted. 35.4 endurance, immunity to frightened and terrified for 28 seconds. That sounds pretty good. And I already like her skeleton, so I'm gonna go this one. And then we get let's. Is he using a blunderbuss? I don't remember. He's using a blunderbuss, right? That's what that is, or is that like a rifle? Same thing. 20% reload speed. Blunderbuss is simply rifle and dwarven. True. I'm gonna go with ruffian. It is a arquebus, which I don't think is what we just spec'd into, which is fine. We can get, we'll get him a gun. Mr. Sandman, I want it that way. It shows up there. Yeah, that is not okay. Okay, yeah, we that's okay. So we need to get him.
Following your lead.
We need to get him a good like pistol or something. We'll find one. We'll find one. It'll be all right. All right, first time leveling her up. Oh, she's got high stealth. Holy shit. I'm gonna give her just 1 point in mechanics. Let's give her some lore. New class unlocks. Why don't we give her? Where is the bow one? For accuracy for bows. It's penetrating shot. Oh, wait a second. Isn't this what I already have? Plus 15 interrupt. This is melee only, so we don't want that. Let's go 20% reload speed. They can just reload super quick. She is using a hunting bow. She also has gunner and peasant. Right, so she has some accuracy. Okay. So we need to get him. Yeah, we need to get him a whatchamacallit. Where's my new phrase? Second level chanter spells. 4 phrases chanted. Okay. So, for example, we would need to add in. Does it work like that? So then now this would work maybe? Let's make this our Q. Alright, we'll see. See if that works.
What is it?
Alright, let's start going.
I'm on the trail.
You know what? I should scout
Ready, Watcher.
with her. And she has a ton of stealth.
Hail and well met.
Okay, apparently I'm just crazy. A woman paces back and forth, her feet crunching on the soft red carpet. She gestures and mumbles to herself, shaking her head as she pores over pages of notes. She almost walks into you. Ekosi? Here I am. Looking so hard for answers in my research that I do not see the kith standing in front of me. What can I do? I would like to know. I'm looking for an expert on awakenings. She laughs bitterly. Ach, that would be me. Though the lack of research subjects has made me more of an expert in counting floorboards. I would like to transfer animancy success and buttressing pre-awakened souls to soothing those whose souls have already awakened, but I need subjects, and most of the patients here are too broken to produce reliable results. It is a tragedy to have come so far for nothing. You're in luck I have a volunteer. She springs to the balls of her feet, beaming. Gallard, who is it? I don't know about this, says Aloth. Don't be silly. The process is perfectly harmless. All you must do is stand in that cage. I beg your pardon? I jest. You Adrians are so uptight. I do not even know what the thing is used for. It belonged to the last occupant of this office, I think. Now they upgraded him to a cell. Again, I jest. She rubs her hands together, getting down to business. So I need you to sit here. She takes Aloth by the shoulders and steers him to the couch. Try to relax, but don't try too hard, and then you will not be relaxing. Indeed, his eyes are humorless. And you must also wear these. A little coal with a copper will help conduct your essence. The animancer fastens the copper bands to Aloth's forehead and wrist. She ratchets them tighter. His face twitches with suppressed irritation. She's looking for Zora. Now I will examine your soul through my scope. She reaches into her desk and produces a long chambered tube. Knobs, dials, and small tooth wheels run along the side of the device. It is fitted with Adra lenses cut to different thicknesses and concavities. By manipulating them, I find the angles and densities that will allow me to track the anomalies in your soul. How exciting! I've never seen this sort of thing performed. Khan peers at the device with interest. It seems suitably complicated. Does this mean we'll get to talk to Ilzmir more? I like that lady. She raises a finger. But first we must find this cunning interloper. You will answer some personal questions while I make adjustments. She kind of pats his arm. Don't worry, I'm sure we won't hear any of it. He squirms on the couch. Very well. She holds the scope to her eye and flicks a knob. To begin, tell me something personal. Something from a time before your awakening. There's nothing to tell. It was just a normal child living in the Sithwood. He looks to you. His face is set in frown, but the rigid edges of his apprehension show through nevertheless. What do you remember about your home? As you speak to Aloth, you feel your voice like a bell in your chest. It tolls softly, luring him into the mist of his own memory. Belisage doesn't seem to notice anything, but you feel as if your words are soothing his essence, untangling its many threads. He closes his eyes, comfortable, modest, quiet when Mother is away, which is most of the time, quiet enough to hear the clink of glass on wood. This is when I know to be most careful. Father is good about hiding the bottles. Mother, when she is home, is good at pretending not to notice them. Whoa. This is good. I'm starting to see something. Continue. Tell us about the time you awakened. She bites her tongue as she twists one of the dials. I am in my 5th year of training. Mother is home. I can let my guard down a little because when she is around, he is usually only angry with her. But he has heard that I have had trouble casting missiles. My flame shields are unstable. He is furious that I have failed, and Mother's presence reminds him that he has failed too. The first blow takes me by surprise. One moment I am sweeping the kitchen, the next I am sprawled on the ground, stupidly looking at the flecks of my blood on the tile. His boots, glistening with fresh polish, thud across the floor. He kicks me in the stomach and I curl up to shield my vitals, but it's pointless. Protecting one thing only leaves something else exposed. Still huddled on the ground, I retreat as fast as I can. I retreat until the vision of the kitchen and my own trembling knees is nothing but a pinprick against the field of black. His jaw locks and his eyes twitch beneath their lids. Matacho Belisage fiercely cranks the knobs against her scope. He's hypnotized himself with this old memory. You've got to bring him out of it. Quickly, I almost have it. Shaken by the shoulders, you've got to wake up. You've scuttled him off. A wilting daisy, that one. That's it. I'm seeing a shift in his essence, something spreading and congealing. Keep talking. He seems to respond to you. What brought you here? Cracking bones and voices high in ire. That warm molasses feeling that creeps down your gut when crisis is nigh. Bilfetto. We have flares of totally distinct essence. She jots shorthand notes into the pages next to her and turns one clicking knob of her scope. Now try to get 2 of them talking. Aloth asks Islamir what she's doing. Aloth's face twists in the fury. Sticking weed, worming parasite. He bursts into sudden laughter. You'd say the same to your own kindled twig when it betrays ye. Eder grins. Must be hard to avoid knowing there's a lady in your body the whole time judging you. Good, yes, very good. She rests from her scribbling only to make another adjustment to her scope. I can now see 2 separate patterns of essence. Where he ebbs, the other flows. It is as if the awakened soul fills the space that he leaves empty. She prompts you with a circling of her wrist. Quill still in hand. Go on. Ilzamir, what exactly are you taking from him? Nigh, more than I'm giving. Ye should ask which I did that old man of his. How last time he laid a hand on us, I break it in 3 places. Allah's head jerks to the side. That wasn't your decision. It's never been your decision. Nigh, was awakening, but now I'm stuck with ye, and damned if I let your ninnying drag us both through the scupper. Very good. She lowers her scope and consults her notes. I think I finally got something we can work with. I've tracked Ilzamir's essence throughout the exchange. She had a particularly high density index during the most heated portions of their argument, and her essence seemed to localize most clearly in the lower portion of the subject's left ribcage. That's right around the spleen, which of course means that she's triggered by black bile. No doubt the subject's characteristics, melancholy, is to blame. Aloth blinks back at you. In the midst of this perturbation, you're not quite sure who's looking out of his eyes. That's utter horseshit. So Johnny's eyes, wide and innocent, it does seem as though she's got one thing right. She glares at him. Yes, never mind my years of training. I suppose you have a better explanation. Is the mirror manifest when Aloth is in danger or under pressure? You're close. Aloth's right. That's absurd. The mirror always shows it when he feels threatened. If you're right, then removing Aloth's spleen should cure him. I don't want to remove his spleen. I mean, these are pretty much the same answer. You're close. I think most repairs related to potential sources of trouble for Aloth. And be diplomatic about it. Belisage carefully scratches her jaw, her gazing darting between you and Aloth. I suppose that could be true. She jots another note down. I'll have to check this again to other research. He removes the copper bands. Well, and good for you, but what does that mean for me? Frowns at her notes, tapping her cheek with a quill and making a grand show of concentration. However, you catch her stealing a glance at you over the pages. Izumir tries to take control from you when she thinks you can't face a problem of your own. You can't let her make these decisions for you. She did you a favor by dealing with your father, didn't she? I think she's trying to help you stand up for yourself. You may not like her methods, but you should hear her out. It seems that Izumir steps in when she determines that you're in danger. It's not clear yet whether this is a help or a hindrance. I mean, I don't think... I feel like what we know from Aloth, I don't think he likes Izumir. So I'm going to go with number 1. My thoughts exactly. I'll have to be more careful about her from now on. I've got a lot to process. Regardless, thank you for your help, Urist McUrist. She sets her notes on the desk and returns to her scope. Well, I hope this has been useful to you, as has been to me. I finally have material worth publishing. You'll be the toast of Revua Fincher Aloth. His grimace melts into a crooked smile. Aye, advancing the right-wise principles of animancy, just what you've always wanted. As you turn to leave, you catch a darting movement out of the corner of your eye. Belisage is humming to herself, still occupied with her scope, but Aloth is holding her notes. He's just about to tuck them into his cloak when he catches you watching. He holds a finger to his lips, eyes wide and imploring, please, I don't want my personal information published like this, especially not after her nonsense. No, you won't get any explanation, and she gets her research, that was the deal. Fair enough, but do it quietly. I'm gonna do leave me out of this. He hides papers in his clothes, not to worry. We'll see this out on our own. Okay.
What is it?
Look. Taxes collected, all earnings were lost to bandits. Oh, what? You didn't tell me bandits were coming. Oh, it's Modred. Leave the trunk alone. Let's talk to this guy first. An animancer scribbles. So that's pretty cool. I like Aloth a lot. I just wish all this stuff was like voice acted and like, I don't know. And it doesn't really have to have like cutscenes or be animated, but I don't know. It's cool. Animancer scribbles furiously on a parchment scroll while his free hand dances through the air, counting off unseen objects. His lips move in silent discourse. As your shadow falls over his scroll, he looks up at you with mingled perplexity and irritation.
Good day to you.
Can I help you? He forces a polite smile. Does the name Helig mean anything to you? What are you working on? Oh, hey, cat. Yeah, you can come sit on my lap. Yeah. Modred starts. Helig, is a colleague of mine. He was primarily a necromancer, but he was involved in animancy too. He worked at the sanitarium for several years. I dare say everyone here has heard of him. He left his post recently. I believe he was seeking new opportunities in the Valian Republics. The advances they're making in animancy really are quite remarkable. Surely you've heard. Perhaps you haven't? Do you know a woman named Ronya? No, I don't get out of the sanitarium much. About Helig. I said he no longer works here. I heard it differently. He slides his spectacles down his nose. Just what are you insinuating? If this is your idea of a joke, I assure you it's in very poor taste. Helig wasn't joking, and neither am I. I've had enough of these baseless... Wait, you spoke to Helig? He lives in a manner of speaking, but that's... He frowns. If anyone figured out how to do that, it would be him, wouldn't it? He sighs and runs a hand over his hair. Very well, yes, I killed him. I killed that beast because nobody else had the spine for it. He was a madman. Yes. Years of perverse experiments, twisting healthy souls, torturing damaged souls, and for what? He flayed the essence from Glanfathan ingredients for his amusement. He waves down the hall. If the public had known half of his deeds, they'd have razed this place to the ground. He jabs his finger on the desk. He used the sanitarium to disguise his own sick proclivities. He brought shame on all of us and put the entire discipline at risk. I regret nothing. He calms down and sizes you up. Anyway, Now you know the whole Grizzly story. Alex said you stole the grimoire from him. His grimoire? But that madman, what's that madman been telling you? He said you kept it in that trunk over there. You've been misled. There's no grimoire there. Helig never intended you to find one. That wretched thing has an insatiable hunger for blood. Thank you for denying him. I hope I can convince you now to return to him and slay him once and for all. I'll consider it. Consider also the kind of man he is and the kind of things he's capable of. Don't trust him. I must return to my work. I wish you well. He returns back to his papers. The thing is, like, kind of figured that. Like, why did we trust a dude whose skin was like falling off? In the corner of Mojo's lab rests a large weathered trunk. It seems to lightly contain something important, if only by virtue of the size. Examine the trunk more closely. The lack of dust on the trunk surface and the long scratches of the tile flooring suggested the trunk is frequently used and moved to the laboratory despite its considerable size. Deep yet narrow gouges score the wood at the edges of the trunk. They look like claw marks. Open the trunk. Heavy locks hold the trunk shut. It's too sturdy to break, but the mechanism looks too complicated to pick. You need to find the key.
Well met, friend.
Be quick about it. Sanitary legs, another word. He resumes his work.
Gods keep you.
What are you working on? My area of focus is wicks. More specifically, how to cure them. What is a wick? Hollowborn who received a transplanted animal soul during infancy. One of the Animancy's early efforts to cure the legacy, if not a successful one. They show signs of developmental abnormalities throughout their childhood, but when they reach adolescence, they become aggressive, feral, but still victims in need of cure. Hi, Mort, how's it going? Transplanting animal souls into children seems like a weird solution. We Animancers were trying to do something about the crisis, better than letting it swallow a generation of children. And despite the controversy, it only went so far because, at first, it seemed to work. People called it the salvation. Children that had never been responsive to any kind of stimuli suddenly seem aware of the surroundings of their families. The complications don't begin until puberty, but that's when the incompatibilities between body and soul take shape. Children become violent, ravenous, but we paid dearly for our mistake. I promise you, angry mobs hunted down Animancers and burned down their houses, with them still inside, often as not. Why do you study them? What kind of question is that? Just think of all the families that could be healed, and the lives that could be restored. What could be more important? Animancy has an answer here, I know it. It's simply a matter of working it out. I see. And the villain one, blah, 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 yep. Where do you talk to her?
Well,
Okay.
Slow and silent.
Yeah, we're not gonna get away
Yes.
with that. Okay, what else is in here? Another cage, claw marks. Can we not get through here? Okay. You press V, it keeps things highlighted? Interesting. I kill this guy. Sometimes we get people in here trying to make trouble for the Animancers. Yeah, that's probably gonna be me. So, Modric confessed to killing Helig, but he also explained that Helig was a founder and inspired. Continue helping Helig or return to the catacombs and finish what Modric started. I think I'm gonna kill that guy. Yeah, we're gonna go to the catacombs and kill that guy eventually. We're gonna leave for now, though. What else do we have to do here? Have I played through this before? No, this is my first ever playthrough of this game.
Adair, you have said you fought in the Saints' War, but for which side?
The one that blew up my god.
I didn't mean anything by it. I imagine a man with a head made of fire and light could be very convincing.
Funny thing about Dear Woodens. With all that fire and light, they just treated him like another authority figure.
Alright, let's go to the house down here. Uh-oh. As you near the apparition, you're overcome suddenly by a powerful anxiety that sits like a stone in your stomach. The feeling is not quite real, the recollection of an emotion rather than an emotion itself. It wrenches your insides, nevertheless. The apparition's brow is tensed, a look of concern playing across its face.
The other missionaries say you have been neglectful of your duties.
They lie.
They speak out of concern for you. Now tell me, is there something to their concerns?
The pain in your stomach deepens, and you feel for a moment as though you're about to be sick. Your mouth has gone dry. Forgive me, Eminence. I wish to leave the order. The man folds his fingers together and presses them to his mouth, thoughtful.
You have been an apt student, and your convictions have inspired those around you. May I ask what has changed to make you feel this way?
The people were intended to convert. They committed unspeakable acts, sacrificing mutilations. My family has not taken my new faith well. They no longer speak to me. I've done something unforgivable. We were attacked on my last mission. How about we were attacked on my last mission? The apparition exhales slowly and lips pressed together. Sympathetic rapport in his eyes. It places his hand on your shoulder. You feel
you were responsible for this?
Other missionaries were badly hurt because of my decisions. Some will never be the same. Ours is not an easy calling. People are frightened by new beliefs. They sometimes react with violence. These are the risks we all assume when we take the oath. I put them at risk. I made the wrong choice.
If you approached the heathens because you believed it was what the gods would want you to do, then there was no mistake, and you bear no guilt.
How can that be?
The gods gave us many gifts, but clairvoyance was not among them. They do not judge our actions by their outcomes. They judge them by our reasons. Act out of love for the gods, and you can never be wrong in their sight. This was a tragedy you went through, and it will never leave your memory. But you needn't let it burden your soul as well. Leave judgment to the gods.
Will you stay with us? Finish what you started? The knot in your stomach seems to loosen all at once, and the anxiety is replaced with something else entirely, something warm and soothing. It is something you know you can never repay. As the vision fades, you start to become cognizant of the many odd looks aimed in your direction. Your last response echoes in your mind. I will. Okay.
Good day, stranger.
Excuse me, but I've been looking for you. You're the one who lifts the curse on Heritage Hill. My lady, who wishes to remain anonymous, has entrusted me with bringing you this pistol. It belonged to a dear friend of hers who was lost to the curse. For your part in reclaiming Heritage Hill, my lady wishes you to have it. Here, may it serve you well in battle. Thank you. She bows. You are quite welcome. You've gained an item, St. Garum's Spark, at its inventory. Now it must be off for well. Do we just get a free pistol? Dude. Wow. A unique two-handed pistol. This is perfect. Because we fucked up. Hold on. And he we fucked up and gave him the accuracy bonus to pistol. So he's getting a pistol. Awesome. This is awesome. This is so cool. Alright. Dude. It's a very slow pistol. Plus 25% shock damage. So we can actually make it even more accurate too. Alright, so it's less damage, but more accurate. Dude, it looks cool. Saint Garum was a priest of Hylia, known for his mastery of the art and wordplay. It was said he could shape the mood of a crowd with a single word and find with cruel precision the most shocking turn of phrase, which would dismantle an opponent. One more whimsical daughter of the Deerwood had his pistol crafted in his honor for the gun. Two, she said, could put an end to any debate. So you can make it accurate. Okay. Well, now he's using pistols. Do I still go in this house? I guess so. So I want this to be V. That's why it's not sticking. There we go. I'm not gonna steal any of that. Okay. Slow things down a little bit. Just kind of look around.
The work of a moment.
Fine
I'll
leather
have it in
armor.
no time. The work of a moment.
I'll wait for this guy to leave. A group of notes speculate about the identity and location of a secret sect in Defiance Bay.
Laying low.
Do I have to wait till this completely goes away? I assume so. Yoink! Yoink! Either these notes are written in code or the author's handwriting is atrocious. The author could be a spider, for all I know. Affixed to the wall are leads in a case involving apparently a caravan that disappeared en route to New Homar. Or maybe it's Haramar. We must need to go upstairs. This must be where the lady is at.
A blade in the dark.
Oh. That stuff was already taken before we were in there. She must be in that room over there. Lady Webb will see us now. Okay. Let's go in. What up, Webb? The woman clutches a thick stack of parchment with spindly, wrinkled fingers, their flesh stretched thin to near translucence with extreme age. A gossamer veil over pale blue veins, ink splotches and candle burns dot and stripe her hands like quilt patterned after some great, indescribable truth. She does not look up from her reading.
So, the messenger conveyed my summons. A miracle that would make the reincarnation of Aothis look like a child's cantrip, surely. It doesn't draw the most inspired minds, messaging. They failed me so many times of late, I nearly sent a cipher after you instead. So this is the Watcher who took over Cad Noir. Oh, don't look so surprised. It isn't an attractive expression. I wouldn't be where I am for long if I let details like that escape me.
A meager trick given Cad Noir's fame.
Since then, as I understand it, you entered a quarantine district that is absolutely off limits to all civilians and somehow managed to walk back out with your life. What could possibly have been on your mind to make you do such a thing?
It was a personal matter.
A personal matter that has you tracing the footsteps of the Leaden Key. It must be some problem you have. You're not the only one with an interest in their recent activities. I've lost 4 ciphers this year alone trying to get someone inside their ranks. As it is, we only have our suspicions about who is in the group and what they intend, which I suppose means we have much in common with them. I asked you here because I wanted to know what your interest was in all of this. I thought perhaps we might help each other. Why are you looking for the Leaden Key?
Maybe she can help us out. So instead of lying to her, we're going to tell her I ran across a man in one of the ruins. It's important that I find him again. She closes her eyes and the lids flicker. Then her face goes still and her mouth parts, little more than a sliver, and her hand briefly drops open, spilling some of the parchment on the ground. The pages wafting around her legs like the leaves of a dying tree. Her fleshy eyelids peel back and her gaze is immediately upon you.
The gods are cruel, I'm afraid. The man you seek is Theos Ix Arcanon, Grand Master of the Leaden Key. One of the most elusive and dangerous men Aora has ever known.
What can you tell me about Thanos?
More than most, though very few would know so much as his name. And there is no way of knowing how much of what I've read is true. The Leaden Key dates back more than 2,000 years. If rumors are to be believed, Theos was the one who created it. What scraps of evidence exist suggest that he has died many times, only to be reborn each time exactly the same man, awakened during adolescence with all the knowledge and experience of all his lifetimes.
That's pretty cool.
The plots he orchestrates sometimes take hundreds of years to bear fruit. Needless to say, this is not the natural order of things.
True.
But he is said to be one of Woodica's favored, and that old bat was never one to let rules get in the way of favoritism. That may also explain another supposed gift of his. His body is no boundary to his soul, and he is known to take possession of others, if their souls are weak enough. Often it is for elaborate deceptions, but sometimes he simply forces them to kill themselves. He is not known for his generous supply of pity. He is also not one to show himself in any but their most critical matters. If he has directly involved himself in whatever the group plots now, it may be your only chance to find him. And once you do find him, if you can find him, I would not hold my hopes too high if I were you. He is a driven, single-minded man. He will not have the slightest concern for your problems.
How do you know so much
The
about
same
him?
way I come by all my knowledge. Exhaustive research, spying, bribery, perhaps some less savory measures. Whatever the knowledge demands, I pay in full. There is nothing of greater value. Unfortunately, with Theos, there is also nothing more scarce. He has covered his tracks far too well. His manipulations of the course of history are lost to time now, though I believe they were many.
She's like the little finger of the Varys from Game of Thrones of this world. What else is there to know about Lemon
Precious
Key?
little, I'm afraid. You may know much of it already. No one member knows the identity of more than a handful of other members. They are kept in the dark of missions they are not involved in, or sometimes of those they are involved in. They exist to hide secrets they themselves don't know. If you can imagine how gullible someone must be for that to appeal. Despite that, they are very good at what they do, owing much to their founder, who will take matters into his own hands when necessary. And he does not fail.
What do you want
Keep
from
me informed. The Leaden Key has been busy lately, and that is distressing news. I can only guess as to what they intend. You seem to have a knack for turning the stones they've crawled beneath. Keep turning them. Dunreed Row will not stop you. Whatever it is they're up to, figuring it out will be of great use to both of us. In your case, it will surely point you to Theos. In return, I will share our knowledge with you as we learn it, and provide you with what assistance I can.
Very
if
well.
you find your trail has run cold, come to me with whatever you have. There is much I may be able to do for you. Well, let's hear it.
Ingwithan Tower on Heritage Hill contains an ancient machine that can control the flows of souls. The Link Key activated it.
This is troubling. That civilization seems to have known more about the mechanics of souls than anyone since. The Leaden Key was born in that period. It may be that Theos has full knowledge of their technology. The applications of this machine you speak of, I don't want to think about it. If we can learn more about their goals and methods, perhaps we can get the palace behind us. With Avar's support, we may be able to put a stop to this.
That's all. I have other
Yes.
questions. Is there a Lord
There
Web?
was. He
What hap-
believed in dying with dignity. He was old-fashioned that way, my husband. We saw the world very differently, he and I. But he was good to me while he lasted.
Tell me more about Dunreed Road.
All the things there are to know in this world, and you ask me about work. Deerwood is a rebel country. Conflict is in its blood. If you think a few guards posted in our cities keep chaos at bay, you are very new to town indeed. We are Deerwood's cipher investigators, of course. But what we really are is its last barrier against anarchy. People are more at ease when they believe they are watched over by someone more enlightened than they are. It pacifies them. So that is the image we foster. And we do try to be enlightened for their sake. The knowledge we gather here is Deerwood's standing army in many ways. We learn what's vital and we act on it while Deerwood sleeps, blissfully unaware of the terrifying truths all around them.
Let's talk about something else. Then I'm gonna say
Try
farewell.
your best not to die out there.
Oh, I'm gonna try. We did inform Lady Web of the activities. Crusader Kings 3 announced? That's awesome. I love Crusader Kings. Did it have a release date? Sure, it has a trailer.
How fares your search? Well, let's hear it. You mustn't play with a woman's...
Just 2020?
What is
Man,
it?
Crusader Kings is awesome. Alright, let's get out of here. Rock, paper, shotgun, arrow? Awesome. It's the same people, I'm sure, right? I made it. Awesome. Yeah, Crusader Kings is great.
How's the hand?
Turning purple. I'd have to cut it off.
I warned you not to pet him.
If I'm not supposed to pet him, why is he so soft?
Oh, that's great. Why is he so soft? Let's go to this house. I know these people don't like me. An assassin? Well, buddy, that just won't fly here. So if I know that's right, our Q, endurance, is going to be better now. Shoot here. Just gonna shoot here. Dog, go. Oh, there's a bunch. Okay. This is fine. A little bit of daze going out. This is a weird spot. Let's hit these. Let's get a... Oh wow, they're going past like everybody, aren't they? Endurance. Let's get a Dome of Protection out. You know, Loth can probably do my flame attack. Yep, those guys are burning. We get deconsecrated ground. Do this spell. Okay, we can get some skeletons popping up. Let's also do that. Oh shit! That was a misclick. Ever there was one.
That's not very helpful.
So he still needs the second wind to get his health back. That assassin's dead. This guy is gonna be dead. We're just gonna knock him down, actually.
That's not very helpful.
Interdiction?
What?
What? Pillar of Faith. I keep forgetting to use that one. That one seems pretty cool. Yeah, there's probably lots of spells I could use that would be handy. and would make a lot of sense. It's mostly a lot of just being overwhelmed with how much there is. Like, as much fun as I'm having with the druid, there's so many different spells on the druid, and half the time I don't even use all of the spells because there's so many of them. Written on this scrap of parchment is a concise but detailed description of including your name, distinguishing features, and everyone you've known, you have associated with, and your brief time in Deerwood. It's pretty fucked up, man.
Hey.
Same thing? Yep.
Well?
Why are they trying to assassinate me, though?
Well?
You guys know anything about that? Nope.
What is
of course not. Probably could have also gotten out some better, I bet this is a PTSD, yep. Probably could have gotten out a better slicking too.
Greetings.
I don't recognize you. What business do you have with House Dominal? I'm just here to loot the place and kill anyone in my way. Nope. That wouldn't be what Urist would say. It's an old and respected family. Much of the Defiance-based posterity is due to Dominal business activities. Now, do you have any further business here? Farewell. I will see you out. Damn. Okay. It's rough. I'm glad I told the other family that those guys were assholes. Oh, that's true. There's assassins that are after Kana. Let me go ahead and rest. I think I'll rest and then I'll go into the catacombs and kill that undead guy.
Good day to you.
And we'll finish up that storyline. Let's go ahead and do that room. That is very true.
Hello.
Show me your menu. Do we need camping supplies? I don't think so. We forgot 4. We're good. Let's head out. Copper Lane. Yeah, catacombs are over here. That's all the way down here, right? And then we go up. Yeah. A little black and white cat is really far behind, isn't it? Yeah. Let's see.
I shall be discreet.
Can I disarm this trap now?
The work of a moment.
Hey, we did. Nice.
I wonder what this is.
That one must still be too high. Alright, well, he sees me.
Hey.
Ready, Watcher.
Just gonna get everybody like in the right spot.
I'm here.
Following your lead.
Yeah, those two guys are fine right there. I'll put the dog there. So when the Revenant comes... Oh, wait. Go here.
Hey,
Did you find my grimoire? Modred told me that about your experiments. I can't let your research continue. I spoke to Modred. He doesn't have your grimoire. Let's do that one. There's not much fun in a joke if you have to explain it there is there. Tugs a few hairs out of his beard. If you can't fulfill my need for vengeance, then you'll have to serve another purpose. I'm afraid a fierce hunger has awakened along with me. Well. See if we can knock him down. We'll go beast mode and then attack him. Have that dog attack him. She can mark. We'll have Durance cast that. He can attack that. And then... that Slicken is probably overkill. So why don't I... Fireball. And then I also want to do lightning shit. She already wounding arrow or no? It's unavailable. Can't on top of the table. All right.
That's it.
Wow, he just died like instantly.
Well. Yes. Bring them down.
Settle!
That went a lot easier than I thought it was going to be.
Yes.
Okay. Look, he has his grimoire the whole time. A soul prowls within the bloodstone like a caged Stelgear. It's filled with a fierce, restless energy. Who are you? You see an image in your mind of a woman in heavy leather armor, bearing twin daggers. Next to her is a man, young and handsome, who calls her Rowena. The visions shifts to a wind-swept plain next to a lake. 50 men and women in matching leathers lay dead, their bodies contorted and deformed by some sinister sorcery. She falls among them, her body collapsing next to the young man you saw earlier. She's too weak to speak, but the name Dalton appears in your mind. A lone figure strides across the battlefield, barely bothering to step over the corpses. His eyes are filled with an unnatural light and are fixed on Rowena. He reaches out to her, and with little life remain in her body, departs. When he takes the amulet from around her neck, you feel her anguished soul trapped within it. With a final contemptuous glance at the fallen Dalton, the man departs. Dalton sent me to find you. The soul pulses with warmth. It fills your mind with memories of a young man who's both bold and generous. But fury and despair gnaw those images away until all you feel are cold crimson walls pressing against you and something loathsome feeding off of you as the years fade into decades. What the fuck do you want? You see an image of the amulet shattering and the soul inside rising and dissipating among the stars. That's a nice ending. A recovered amulet containing her soul, giving this to Dalton would likely bring him comfort. Okay. Now let's steal his shit.
What is it? Nice and quiet.
Anything special around here? Oh. Alright, let's go find Dalton. Well, I guess we made the right choice. I mean, that dude was pretty crazy, so.
You must.
Gather my party? Yeah, I know. So Dalton should be over here. No, over here. I was like, is that Dalton? Kind of like him.
Gods keep you.
Did you find her? Yes, but not as you expected. She used to wear this. Where did you get it? Give him the amulet from your old adversary, Helig. He trapped her soul inside of it. From Helig, who's kept her soul trapped inside of it for decades. It's time to set her free. We're neutral, so we're not going to be benevolent. He cradles the amulet in both hands, gazing into it with wonder and bewilderment. She's here, back with me at last. He holds it to his cheek, as if hoping to hear her voice or feel her caress. Perhaps her presence, even like this, will bring me peace. I have no answers for you. Dalton takes it and touches the brilliant crimson gem, and whatever time I have left, this will be enough to have her close, to visit her in my dreams, to relive our memories together. Please take this. He hands you the club. It's from my old adventuring days. I think it's time I finally let them go.
Yes.
Dal and Debita. What? A unique club. Once owned by the Glenfathom barbarian, Bodwin Caldaha, this club has ended the life of many an opponent. Bodwin was known to rush headlong into every battle, swinging the club over his head, shouting something. Vengeance just and merciless. Even in victory, Bodwin, or I don't know how to say this shit, was relentless, using the club to dispatch wounded or captured foes where they lay. In time, his battle cry came to be associated with the weapon itself. Remembered long after pretty sure that's right, Badwin's death. Cool. Is this was it one hand or two hand? It's one hand. It's more accuracy. It's more druid-like. Look at that. I'm gonna roll like this.
Yes.
I wonder if we've done quite a few things with Defiance Bay. There is a place. Maybe it is in the First Fires. We were talking to, I can't remember where, but it was to get some more research, I think for Edder's quest line. And they're like, we don't know you that well. It might have been for the archives. Was it here? It might have been here. Yep, it was here.
Well met, friend.
I'm looking for militia records. We've had a number of inquiries about such things. I'm afraid to have bear access to the public. It seems there are still quite a number of folk in Deerwood who bear ill will, blah, 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 blah. Come a long way. I just find my brother. Let me do...
Gods keep you.
In the Duck Palaces, I can assure you do not. Besides, without my assistance, you'd be shutting schools for years. So yeah, that did nothing. I should like hire a plain adventurer to do these, shouldn't I? Those lost in the flood.
Well met, friend.
There must be like a quest or something we have to do first before that becomes like super available or some shit.
Gods keep you.
Talk with the current Duke. Wolf Grin, don't let the title fool you though. Our dukes have been elected since independence. Some dukes, blah blah blah. Okay. And we don't have the key for that. Alright. Oh, where to next? Since we're in Copper Lane, we can go see. Let's see. We're not in Copper Lane anymore. Let's say that we could go to we can go check up on that one breastplate quest. That is an option.
Hey, Olaf, can I, talk to your, you know, your friend? What is it about Isilmir? I'm right here, you know. No, you're both great. It's just, well, I feel like I don't get to spend as much time with her, and she's just so funny. I mean, some of the things she says are not nearly as funny when you've been hearing them for 50 years.
How old is he? Holy shit. Alright, so I want to go here, right? I think so. Hup, 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 hup. It wasn't that guy. It was this guy. Tell me the expedition hall, treasure hunting, plain and simple. Yeah. Do you know a place in the wilderness with colorful pools and waterfall that rises? I know a place, got a map locked up in one of those chests where the very spot marked is yours at 50 coppers. I'm afraid I can't pay that. Come back when you can. Okay then. You'll find it in the back room behind Sonild's shop. Look on the map for Searing Falls, fantastic place. The thermal springs alone are worth the journey. Falls are so hot, most of the water turns to steam. That's rising. That's the rising you were talking about. Okay. Small iron key. Okay. Is that back over here?
I'll see what I can do. The work of a moment.
No.
I'm on the trail.
Cinders of Faith. Travel to the cave from Frigga's vision. The cave, multicolored pools, rising waterfalls. She believes that something there would restore her faith, but she also believes that something there would try to kill her. If I were to find this item for her, she might be able to resume her duties and resurrect the sacred fires of Defiance Bay. Nice. I can take that pike too. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Anybody in here? Oh, yeah. Hey, man.
I'll have it in no time. The work of a moment.
Whoa, mirrored images.
Gods keep you.
The woman look. Sorry, I had to cough. The woman looks up from polishing a dagger. I haven't seen you before. You get out with the expedition company? She raises an eyebrow. Are you betting on one? You know what? Can I buy something? I'm afraid not. See, the dozens only do business with me so long as I only do business with them, and they're good customers. But if you get on Osric's good side, he can make an exception for you. He's probably training some of the new recruits right now. How long have you worked at Mist Inn? She leans on the countertop and drums her fingers. Oh, a few years. I've gotten the minute. The last merchant cleared out. They've got new expeditions venturing out every week, so this is a great place to do business. Tell me about the expeditions. They're groups of adventurers that venture into the wilderness. More than a few of them try their luck scouring the ruins. Most of them come back empty-handed if they come back at all. All right. So I have to go on this guy's good side. So yeah, we need to talk to the guy at Hadrid House. That's what we need to do.
You must gather your party before venture.
Let's do that. We missed a thing. Bing, bong. Can I get there? From the nearest exit. Hey, what's in here? Nice. Yeah, it was Brackenberry.
Your brother. Did you and he get along?
We got along how brothers do. He used to throw water on me to wake me up in the morning. I used to fill his boots with stinging ants.
My own brothers
Jesus.
and sisters are doing very well for themselves, back in Tacoma. I don't know that they'd search for me if I were killed so far from home.
Brothers can be funny. I bet you'd be surprised how far they'd go.
I think if they made a Pillars of Eternity movie, Eder could be played by Nathan Fillion. Here he is.
Welcome.
The Orland man is surrounded by books and scrolls. His wiry hair stands nearly on end. His ears prick up as you approach. You carry whispers. Cad Nua, Gilded Veil, old voices indeed. How did you know? The Orland grins, revealing a row of dagger-pointed teeth. As a cipher, it is my job to know these things. You carry the whiff of ancients. What else can you tell me? His ears twitch downward. Not as much as I would like, unfortunately. My duties for Lady Webb require me to focus my talents elsewhere. He regards a table piled with scrolls. Show him Penhelm's affidavit. Is this the affidavit real? It's signed by you. He holds the page but seems to stare through the words as if something woven in the fabric of the paper. He bares his pointed teeth. I remember Pinhelm, a preening peacock of a man, his mouth dry and hands moist when I told him he was the sole descendant of an Adirian general, one who'd fought against Hadget's rebellion. He scans the affidavit. A forgery! And not the first I've seen. He hands it back to you. But I've no time for the knights and their obsessions. Bring this to his commander, Caliber, and show him the seal. He points to the wax stamp by his forged signature. If he compares it with another, he should be able to spot the difference. Doom a man for the soul the gods gave him seems rather unfair. Why is he talking to us? What are you so busy with? Hollowborn, growing unrest and the ever-present political intrigues. With so many missing souls, missing persons are the least of our concerns these days. It looks like you could use some help. So many secrets and trails in the city, you have to but turn a corner to find a fresh trace of something stolen or someone missing. Unfortunately, we haven't the time to investigate them all. I am supposed to be working on other matters, but my mind still lingers on a few recent cases. Curse of a cipher to be ruled by the whims of curiosity. Tell me about these cases. One case or three, depending on how you look at it. 3 weeks and a disappearance at the end of each. Some might call it a coincidence. I call it a clue. Lady Webb knows you, trusts you, so I shall trust you too. So long as our interests are aligned. I will look into it. Where do I start? Sagani bounces on the balls of her feet, just like one of those Valayan whodunits. Read a few of those on the road, helps pass the time. Copper Lane, Andra's Gifts, and Blackenbury, of course. To talk to the ones who reported the disappearance, the only ones who know enough to care, Laura, Oli, and Elga. Who's missing? 2 men, 1 woman, Lindry, Kendall, and Cora. Tell me about Lindry. Best ass Oli. It's probably Ollie. Best ass Ollie seems they drink together at the Salty Mast in Andra's Gift. Also seems that no one else knew him well enough to miss him. To Kendall, reported missing by Elka, a dwarf who carried traces of fine wine and young dandies. Plenty of time and money to spend on her pleasures. Try Brackenbury. Tell me about Cora. Sisters of Laura, one of the merchants in Copper Lane Bazaar. Not the kind of person who would just disappear, it seems. Do you have any leads? Not yet. Not obvious connections between the victims, which is what makes me wonder so. Could be animancy related. Researchers always need subjects. These less scrupulous types, in particular. Seems too risky for the sanitarium, but one never knows. I wouldn't put it past them. Yeah. Thank you. So we need to show the affidavit for the Rogue Knight. Kind of want to do that first, and then we'll talk to the other contacts. Oh shit! Pinhelm's face is white. Just talked to that little cipher, did you? One of my novitiates told me he'd seen someone in the records room. He takes a slow step toward you, extending his hand. Give me the affidavit. I've done nothing to you. His other hand comes to rest next to his sword. I'm gonna be honest. Your superiors deserve to know the truth. What truth? That over a century ago, I was some Adirian whose dust in the ground now? His hands grip the sword pommel. I'll ask you one more time. Give that back. I'm gonna say, don't be a fool. We're in public. Which is why everyone will be shocked to hear that you assaulted a company of the Crucible Knights without provocation, including one with such a spotless record as mine. This fucking dipshit. Alright, that's Pinhelm right there. We are not in good fighting spot. Alright, let's see what. Let's go Bubba Beast mode. The thing that sucks about this is they're gonna like all be on a Urist, I think. So, you know what? Instead of Urist going crazy right now, just let's cast that on Urist. I'm gonna hit W and go in for here. Hopefully, they will want to go on to Eder. So I'm just gonna have these guys attack off the bat. We're gonna slick in a second. Okay. So here we go. This is gonna be a great slicking. It was an okay slicking. Let's do that. Let's buff everybody's stuff. I'm gonna knock this guy down since he's still up. I don't like Urist's health right now. At all.
What?
Okay, that's good. He's getting that spell off. So now let's get the dome up. Ah, man. I forgot to put the one beam on here. Feels bad, man. I'm just gonna burn these dudes. Okay, Urist.
Yes.
Let's do more lightning, dude. I think Pinhelm's dead. Alright, let's pause. Let's get some healing. This hits like everybody right there. Boom. Knights my ass. Give me your breastplate. There it is. Put that one there. No, it went to the, okay.
Well?
Got him. Well, since we did that, let's go to the sanitarium. Let's see if we can talk to that head guy in the sanitarium. Because that was one of the quests. Right. The head warden. Head warden, a well-maintained statue of a middle-aged man, presides over the room looking down on Bleaking. It's a statue. It has been some time since the Watcher graced these halls. His voice echoes deeply, rumbling the floor beneath you. I am envious of your natural insights, traveler. I can only imagine how it might have helped my work and life. Now, what is it? What is it that has brought you to my sanitarium? You may have a member of the Leaden Key in your midst. I could have done without hearing that today. This guy is like, Mondays. Many have their intrusions been into our affairs. Of course, one can seldom be certain whether they've meddled or whether calamity has struck on its own. But a few of their less skilled infiltrators have been exposed from time to time. They are a perpetual nuisance. Once again, I am reminded of how envious I am of your gifts. I suspect there would be some use in verifying one's identity. You were at odds with Lead and Key as well, I take it? They're up to something. I'm trying to determine what. They are always up to something. Of that, you may rest assured. If their plots have come to involve you, you have my sympathies. Do you have some idea of who that person might be? I won't know until I've met them. Very well, in that case, I would recommend you speak first with our residents as animancers. They have frequent interactions with both patients and colleagues. You'll find them up here or in their offices downstairs. You will report anything suspicious to me immediately. This is my only request. Curious as to how you become to be in your present state. In the statue, you mean? Well, I was old, and it seemed wrong to me, a lifetime spent in pursuit of discovery only to lose it all in death. Someday, I would wake up in a new body, none the wiser, and pursue a different course entirely. All that experience wasted. If we are ever to unearth the principles behind our existence, it will be in spite of our condition. Of that I am quite sure. To live on as part of something I helped build seemed to me better legacy than what nature had in store. The transfer itself was quite simple as our techniques go, and for that I am grateful. Playing with souls is far easier to accept when they are not your own. I do miss being able to take an active role in the scholarly efforts here. Now and again, one of our animancers will humor me and consult over some problem, but they're a jealous breed, and too often are afraid to collaborate. If you're considering yourself, I can tell you, this isn't easily bored. Very well.
Yes.
All right. So we're questioning these people? No. We're questioning animancers. I guess we're gonna have to question the guys downstairs. So all these people aren't gonna have to say anything to say, right? There's nobody here. Or is it them? Yeah, okay. It's a weird tooltip. Who could it be? We know there's two people down here. Well, you've spoken to both of them already. We can give this guy an update. He came in.
Hello.
Helga's dead for good. Then I can rest easy. You've done a great service for Animancy for the sanitarium, and for me, thank you. Glad to be of help, farewell.
Welcome.
Has anything unusual been happening around here? You must be joking, the sanitarium. Nothing is usual down here. Although, now that I think about it, the patients seem more agitated lately, but they're Cadman Azza's responsibility, not mine. Who's that? Who is that? Where is this person at? Ripley, believe it or not.
I'll see what I can do. The work of a moment.
Idle Man, the Midnight Man. Graham.
How do you do?
Oh my, you startled me. Are you supposed to be here? What do you do here? I mostly help Master Azzo set up cleaning equipment. I also keep his office organized since he's too busy to do it himself. Alright, I think I know who our guy is. Is he in here? He's not. Note from Az Ripley, I require more copper tubing for my next experiment. Do not requisition it from the sanitarium stores. I don't have the time to deal with the head warden's inevitable questions. Ooh. Okay. Seem to have misplaced my notes. Uh-oh. Yeah, there's nothing in there. So there's no way that we can get past all this stuff, right? And we can't get past these guys because they're gonna be like, yo, you need a key, dog. Which is cool. That's all fine and dandy. Let's see what we have upstairs. So we need to question. Who's connected, blah, 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 blah.
How do you do?
I found records that Azo may be running some kind of questionable experiments. Quick experiments? He's in charge of patient welfare now. He's not authorized to run any more experiments. I'm disappointed. I'd hoped he would be the one to guide your inquiry. He'll be in his office or in the patient wards. I'm granting you immediate access so you can find him. No doubt you will wish to speak to him further on this matter, and I, for one, am curious as to what he might have to say. Tread carefully in the wards. There are a few dangerous cases. I would ask also that you do your best not to agitate the patients. They have enough troubles as is. Ooh, it's getting spicy. Let me in. Frey lol. You must be visiting somebody. What do you know about this animancer? Oh, I like him very much. Many animancers could care less about their patients. Look at us like vermin for their experiments, but Master Azo treats us like humans, even the very sick. You can tell he does this to help people. He's helped me understand a great deal about myself. I know he's done the same for others. It's too bad what they did to him. He hides it well, but I know he's still affected by it. What? What happened to him? They don't like to talk about it, but there was an accident. He was said to be one of the brightest in Deerwood. That was his reputation here, and that was what brought me to seek treatment. People say it was Eco that drove him to try and solve the legacy, but that's hogwash. Even if it was a bit of a showman, he loves his homeland. He thought he could help. He wasn't one to speak of his work, suspected his colleagues might have tried to steal it, but he told me once that he had figured out a way to create a soul. Not a soul exactly, mind you. How did he put it? A proxy, I think he called it. Had some machine that drew energy out of the very ether. Can you imagine? The point is, it was going to help with the legacy. It was going to make Hollowborn into something easier to love and care for. Gods know that's something we need. Do you know what they call those empty little babies in Andra's gift? No, tell me. They call them buoys, because so many of them are found floating face down in the water. These are mad times. Good lord! Anyway, Master Azo scheduled a public demonstration of his work in Copper Lane. He was so excited. Do you know where I might find Azo? I think he's seen around today. Have you checked the laboratory? It shares a wall with his office. He's been spending most of his time there lately. Farewell. They call them buoys. Oh my gosh. Alright, so he should be in here. Yeah, that's him.
I want to see what I can do.
It's not. Maybe he'll drop a key.
Hey.
A round-faced, balding man's turned to face you. His upper lip is pulled upward slightly by his pointed nose, exposing his upper teeth when he scowls.
What is the meaning of this?
Thelomir told me you're not supposed to be doing any experiments. I need to know if you see any unusual behavior in your patients. How about this one? You're going to get a lot of looks asking questions like that in a sanitarium for the unbalanced. In truth, I have spent little time treating them since I have been reduced in my cap. You might have luck with some of your functional patients. They tend to congregate in the main area, just past the entrance of the patient wards. I have a question. Is patient eyelids for a reason? I've seen your records. I know what you're doing with them.
Those are private. You
He balls up his fist and digs his teeth into the next figure. A growl simmering beneath his breath. Deep kind of
fine.
face.
Speak to them for all the good it'll do you. I'm sure the discussions will be fascinating.
So we got a key. Nice. Heard you were demoted. How'd that happen? That's none of your concern. Did one of the others put you up to this? Odmer? That smug weasel? Things went wrong. Everything. I don't know how. I'll never know. He spits on the floor as if to remove a bitter taste from his mouth. He told me you were not supposed to be doing any more experiments. Yes, well, Athelmer hasn't done much good for anybody since he had his soul moved to an inanimate object. So I fail to see why I shall let that sway me. If animancers all followed the commands of their leaders, where would we be? We'd all be as backward and willfully ignorant as Redcrest. Or is it Red Ceres? I don't know. We would know nothing about life or death or even ourselves. We would be lost in the dark with no clue as to why. Our leaders guide us, and without them we risk losing our way. If this man would strike off on his own, then let him fend for himself, without the benefit of the sanitarium. I have a hard time getting a beat on what like Kana's alignment is. So what would he pick? You toy things beyond your comprehension. It's too dangerous and foolish. Seems to me we're still in the dark. Surely there are other paths that don't involve risking lives. You're right about that much. There are certain questions that have to be asked. But number 4.
Precisely. I am down here defying my masters because there is good I can do here. And I will not let a bureaucracy stand in the way of that. Who will solve Widewen's legacy? Some church? Some warrior? It will be an animancer or it will be no one at all.
Have you tried your experiments on any other subjects? I have, yes. No point in lying about it. Now that Atholomer is involved, I asked for volunteers for more patients, and a few brave souls come forward. I was very close at one time to a breakthrough. They understood that. They understood their sacrifices would mean something. Interview Graham in the North Ward.
Well? I'll have it in no time. The work of a moment.
Whoa. Some free light armor. That's all hers.
As you wish. I'll see what I can do. The work of a moment.
One-handed mace called Raven Wing. +4 accuracy. Cool. 3 damage reduction bypass. That's pretty sweet. 25% damage when attacking the same target as an ally. Legend tells of a druid, wise and powerful, who traveled accompanied by a flock of ravens. In battle, the druid would assail his enemies with his mace, while the ravens descended in a chaotic swarm, distracting and flanking his foes. Years of coordinated attacks and the druid's lingering magic are said to have gifted his mace with an enchantment that lends the wielder similar gifts. This mace finally wrought and lightweight, making maneuverable, if not very resistant against direct attacks. Against a distracted opponent, however, a single blow often proves quite efficient. Damn, dude. Well, this has got to go to our main man, Urist. And then Wolfheart is said to have been blessed by the Lord of the Hunt himself, a human hunter showing skill with a bow and arrow beyond any before seen, caught Galawan's attention. One day, Galawan proposed a bargain. If the hunter could best him in a hunting contest, Gawain would present her with armor that would bestow upon her the power of a wolf. For a week, both hunters tracked their respective quarry through the woods, and when the contest was ended, the hunter had felled the most game. True to his word, Gawain presented her with wolf heart, which gave her a crafty, invasive nature for its namesake. Cool. And we can enchant it a little bit more if we want. I think we want to enchant it with dexterity, right? So faster actions. Constitution would be more health, right? Or do we want might for damage? I think we want might for damage. Oh, she like matches. Nice. Let's put that in there.
Well?
Sweet.
Hello.
Anything else
Hello?
hiding around here? Copper wires, conduits are shiny. You needed coppers. Remember that? I assume we're gonna get into battles and stuff. We go to this North Ward, since there's gonna be crazier people over there. Sir Azza said he made me better soon. I don't think that's gonna happen.
This.
Hey, there we go. Flesh construct. Construct turns his head toward you and watches warily. Alright. So we're gonna go there in a second. Let's just check out the rest of these cells and stuff. Keep your distance. Send that cell back there. We had an incident when people got close. Okay. Oh, lockpicks. We need that. Some booze. All right. Is this my face? Tell me. Shit. Thundering sky, rain of blood, innocents must drown. Oh, it's Graham. The man has a look in his eyes of a hunted animal, and at your approach, he staggers backward to the far corner of his cell, halfway appearing as though he would climb the walls if it would get him farther away from you. He cries out a bizarre primal utterance like nothing you have heard. You can't hide from me, leaden key spy. I need to ask you some questions. Graham looks at you blankly. It is unclear whether he understands you or not, but his panic has momentarily subsided. He opens his mouth to speak, but the words that come out are half-formed, as though his tongue were cut out. They are impossible for you to discern, if indeed they are words at all. Kana winces. I don't think he can speak anymore, not in words at least. This is monstrous. Azor ran experiments on you against your will, didn't he? He looks at you with uncertainty. Slowly, tentatively, he steps closer to the front of the cell, and as he does so, for the first time you can perceive his soul within your kin. It is misshapen, as though maned by some jagged instrument, and large expanses of it have been gouged out entirely. You feel no barriers of resistance. If you wanted to, you could look further into Graham's soul. Let's do it. You project outward, out toward the maimed soul in front of you, merging with it, its confusion and fear becoming yours as it whisks you into its depths. You're in your cell, a key turns, the door creaks open on neglected hinges. Thoughts come to you in waves, incomplete, broken, and fearful. I got a feeling this is going to be super disgusting. Standing at the door is a rotund, balding man. His upper teeth and pointy nose remind you of a rat. He beckons, apologetic. You don't want to go anything else. In your mind is a single word, and the word is no. But it dissolves where it reaches your lips. You press against the back wall, cornered. You cry out. In darkness, you fight against unseen restraints. You cannot move your arms or legs. The man walks into the room carrying a lit candle, its meager flame casting long shadows across books and machinery. Straps bind your arms and legs. Cold metal circumscribes the crown of your head and the breadth of your chest. The man is sorry. He is in need of raw materials. They dismantle his work and needs another source. He needs to show them he was right. He thanks you. Then he turns a knob and you feel yourself begin to crack from within, and you can feel pieces of you torn away, like having your insides chewed by a horde of rats, and you are screaming a scream you can barely hear. Another night, heavy footsteps outside your door coming for you. You look through a slit in your door, the flesh giant, the artificial being, just outside, but facing left. Facing the end of the hall, the boy there. The boy looks with interest at the giant, then collapses to the floor like a shed snakeskin. The giant convulses for a moment, then rights itself, turns away and leaves. Graham looks at you, still wild-eyed, but somehow more present. He nods at you, then walks back to the end of his cell. Yee. Okay.
These poor people. This isn't the treatment that they were promised upstairs by
No,
the
it
cushioned
wasn't.
seats and lush
No, it
carpets.
fucking wasn't.
Is that the cure for soul sickness? To be thrown into a cell and subjected to the whims of your captor?
These ants are mad as their patients. But if we're all treated like this, a sanitarium would never survive. What did these patients do to warrant such conditions? There are just as many who come here who are cured. Those people would be. Here's the source of the knowledge. It's one thing to be told as much, another to see it yourself. Let's be on our way. This place gnaws at the soul.
Margaren's fire casts light in dark places.
Okay, nothing there. I have a feeling there's gonna be like a fight or something. I'm just worried. A scrim. A willowy adolescent boy stands in the center of his cell. Gawkish and stoop-shouldered, he stares straight ahead. The occasional blink his only movement, and it is unclear whether he registers your presence at all behind his glassy, doll-like eyes. In his state, the barrier between your soul and his are thin and porous, easily bypassed if you should wish it. You close your eyes and edge forward toward the boy's soul. And as you near, a sudden malaise comes over you. You are cold and warm all at once, sweating and shivering and straining for breath, as you did on the caravan journey. The soul you approach is the wrong one, a parasitic plant that strangles its host. It is predatory and pitiless, and you have crossed paths with it before. Too late does it occur to you to react, or to retract. And already you feel yourself plunging into some interminable abyss of thought and memory. You are standing in a cell now, the same cell in the sanitarium. The halls are moonlit and empty, and you are waiting. At the far end of the ward, the door opens, revealing a flesh golem in silhouette beneath the stone archway. It makes its usual rounds, the same stops every time, the misbegotten child of despondent creators. When the construct is close, you coil yourself up and spring forward, passing out of the boy's body as though it were a membrane. You can sense his body behind you collapsing to the floor, a puppet whose strings are cut. You are rushing towards the golem now, bodiless as a gust of wind. Quickly, you think to yourself, quickly, and you feel the strength hemorrhaging from your soul as you dart towards the makeshift abomination. You pass into the golem's shell and overtake the soul implanted within, encircling it, suppressing it, and containing this new vessel, you are strong again. You step heavy-footed down corridors, unhealed by the other constructs and scrutinized only by the wary, untrustworthy eyes of the mad, coming at last to an office, piled with books and scribbled papers and the perverse implements of animancy. You set your oversized hands upon a large machine, a nest of globes and tubes and coils in the center of the room, and go to work, bending wires and unsettling alignments. Your surroundings are pulled past you, or perhaps you are pulled past them, and they dissolve into a blur. When they settle into place again, you are outside on a clear day, standing in front of a crowd stacked high above you on the tiered seats of an amphitheater. You are acting for the crowd, standing deliberately still, but this is no play. A balding man with rodent-like features is strapping you to a machine, the one you had tampered with. You see your arms for the first time, short and fleshy, unmistakably those of a little girl. But this body is not truly yours. Your mind still holds the same determination, the same hard-heartedness as before. The body itself is cold and vacuous. Unlike the others, this one has no soul of its own. The man speaks and the crowd applauds with an enthusiasm worthy of a hero's entrance. "Bear witness," he says, and he pulls a lever. The machine shivers and sparks, and a bead of sweat rolls down the side of the man's brow. But the crowd's apprehension quickly gives way to awe as the crystal globe fills with a radiant mist that casts the entire theater aglow. He opens a valve and the glow crawls through a tube along a length of a copper wiring that runs to a set of electrodes beneath your armpits. You feel nothing when it reaches you, as it should be, for you have been leading his work astray periodically for some time, altering notes and settings and playing puppeteer for Hollowborn. But you make it look how people would expect it to look when a body is infused with a soul. In a moment, the machine goes dark, and the man unstraps you, eyeing you with a scientist's concern. He looks back up at the crowd. "Behold," he says, but there is obvious hesitation in his voice. Slowly, you take a plodding step forward, then another, and another. You look up at the man, giving him the eye contact of which no Hollowborn is capable, and then the crowd gasp. The man looks relieved. "How do you feel?" he asks at the volume meant for the crowd. And this is the moment. At the top of your lungs, you let out a piercing shriek. The man comes towards you, his hands outstretched, but you run the other way, back to the machine. With all your strength, you drive your head into the crystal globe and it shatters, streaking your head with warm blood. You drive your head down onto the surface of the machine again and again, drawing panic screams from the crowd, and by the time the man reaches you, your body has already ceased proper function and merely twitches on the cold ground. Satisfied, you depart the corpse in search of another unsuspecting host. Who could put their faith in animancy now? You are pulled again from your surroundings, transcending the boundaries of memories and lifetimes, deeper and deeper past betrayals and murders, and lies upon lies that form the thick webbing of plots beyond mortal comprehension. You settle at last on a room you have seen before, expansive, with a tall device encasing an adromonolith at its center. The room is filled with people, and the people all look at the device. You are yanked suddenly back into reality, and the once catatonic boy in the cell is looking directly at you, appraising, calculating. There is no mistaking now that it's the soul of Thanos. Theos the Econon, the man you have been searching for, that gazes out from that borrowed husk. A watcher. We're not going to do aggressive. I believe we share a common past. I'm just looking for some answers. Is that so? He makes no effort to hide his disinterest, but he continues to search your eyes. He makes a slight grunting noise, and his eyes soften for an instant. And it seems for that moment that he recognizes you. He opens his mouth to speak, then seems to think better of what he was about to say. His jaw tightens. "I know your look. You hunger. Hunger for answers that elude you. It gnaws at your soul. It usurps your reason for being. You are like everyone. I will help you let go. He dodges backward with a startling grace, putting himself out of reach. On his face, there is no malice, only dispassion of a farmer putting down a sick animal. Then suddenly he slumps forward. What? Oh man, I'm all backwards. You go after Graham. You go after this guy. You come here. You come here. He's gonna stay. We're gonna hit him with the Q immediately. Alright. Let's get this guy going here. It's gonna knock down like immediately. Graham activates Eye Strike. Okay. Well, let's activate our Slicken. So Johnny can attack. I'm gonna get my dome up. The dome up. Okay. Let's burn these fools. And then let's also fucking scorch them. Wait, no. Cancel that. Belay that order. We can scorch way better. Let's get these right here. Also, is he getting back up? I think he is. Let's see, where is the puppers? Puppers is engaged with this construct. Okay. I want him to come attack them. Let's get everybody killing this guy. Alright. Let's go ahead and get our lightning spell up. Oh shit, Earth is down. Let's get I think I can only really hit. We're gonna get some endurance out. We can also second win whenever he gets back up. Oh, he just got fucked. What? Okay. Probably should have slickened again way earlier. I think I just told this guy to run. I don't want to do that. We don't want to stack these. That's too early. Oh look, we have skeletons. Let's pop those skeletons. We can also do that one. I'm gonna get skeletons up there first. Let's do the what's it called? Acolyte's Radiance. And then let's buff everybody's resolve. get these skeletons on that. We're gonna use Q next time on him. For Urist. Let's use our W so we get more deflection. Where is... Oh, we already killed what's his face? That's good. Let's spike this guy. Let's go ahead and knock him back down.
Most inconvenient.
Is he not attacking anybody?
Most inconvenient.
Okay. Dead ass. Okay, get up, Urist. Oh, he's way over
What
here.
is it?
It's a whole bunch of crap.
Yes.
Did you do anything with the boy? So what's next? Was that essentially subduing a soul or not really? Are these runes? They are, aren't they?
Keeping an eye out.
Nice and quiet.
Interesting. Man, like that whole oh shit. So we're gonna have to get out of here. Let's knock him down. Knock him down again.
What is it? No prisoners!
Okay. You can't run past the body? That's fine. They're dead. That whole, like... That whole... communing with that kid's soul. I would love to see that as like a cinematic. Just like bashing the head into that gym thing. I feel like I should try and make my way back to this guy's lab. Are just all the patients and shit gonna be crazy? What about him? Is he gone? Yo, dude, what have you done? You've been experimenting on patients against their wills, mangling their souls. I've witnessed it with my own mother effing eyes. How could you possibly? Look, it had to be done. Ethelmer and the others, they took everything from me. Everything when I was this close. I had to know. Had to know where I failed and why. Imagine the value if I succeeded. You notice it's like every single animancer that we've come across that's fucking with people and fucking with their souls and everything, they all have the same, like, they're all towing the same line, which is like, look, I did it for the greater good. And you know what? If I had succeeded, we'd all be better. But you know what? None of them have succeeded and everybody's fucked up because of it. Animancy is bullshit. Imagine the... It's true, man. It's true, Scalia. I don't know like how much you know about this game, but it's true. Crusade is the only answer. At this point, I'm down to Crusade, and like every anime answer I see, I'm just like, no questions asked, fucking kill him. I mean, that's not how Urist would do it, but I don't know. Maybe a different playthrough. Imagine the value if I had succeeded. If I had something that could make all these hollow infants into something like a real person, and with a few more patrons and a few years research, who knows? No one has come that close with a legacy. It's why I have to continue. Why I have to risk everything we're working in secret. It's why you have to lie to Ethelmer for me. Tell him you've cleared me of all suspicion. If it means a chance of stopping the legacy, then you have my science. I'm going to expose you for what you are. Yeah. Fuck you, guy. We're, like... They're not engaged yet, so I'm gonna try and get him back. Try and get him back with a Q. Fuck that guy. So this is Graham's patient record. Male, approximately early 30s. Powers of speech absent, presumably as a result of the over-fragmentation of his soul. As such, he is the ideal subject for the present research. However, experimentation has caused severe pain and induced panic, and I have had to enlist the aid of the guards in transporting him for more recent procedures. To take his money. I'm close to a breakthrough. I've found an ample source of essence now, and the vessels have responded positively to infusion with a proxy. Human trials for the next logical course. Yeah.
Yes.
Whatever, dude. Listen to all these screams and shit. You think it's working? Alright, here we go.
That's it!
Let's get them all.
That's it!
Dead on!
We're gonna put all these souls to rest. Give me your flesh.
We'll kill them all!
It's pretty much just gotta knock him down and auto attack him to death.
Well? That's it!
Arthek Worth and Roth!
He'll be alright. What's in here? Just toasted our guys a little bit. Let's steal all this stuff.
Light, flame, and sound.
Let's see if there's anything special in this room.
Keeping an eye out.
Oh, we already found the secret here, didn't we?
Bring them down!
Knocking stuff down is so crazy strong. Why would you ever want to do anything else? Where are the guards? The head warden must be told what's going on down here. Don't worry, man, we cleaned the house. It's all fine now. I'm getting out of here. It's not safe anymore. You're damn straight, man. It is not safe in here. What the blazes happened down there? You would give him permission to ask questions. Look. Things went sideways. I had things under control until I killed the Leaden Key spy, at which point he possessed a flesh construct. It's complicated. A patient of yours, Uskrim, was working for the Leaden Key, only without knowing it. As I was being influenced by a patient, but that patient wasn't himself at the time. He breaks his silence. I have read accounts of people in history who could do what you describe. The accounts are few and brief and never reliable. Some go as far as to suggest that they are all the same person. If truly such a person was here among us, plotting our ruin, would that I had a body again and could be of some real use in our time of need. I fear what the future may hold for this place. I am grateful you were able to dispatch the threat before there was a loss of innocent life. We very nearly had another scandal in our hands. What of Azo? What part did his experiments play in this catastrophe? I confronted him, was forced to kill him. He groans in disgust. Such a waste. There was none more gifted working here. Whoops. I hoped to rehabilitate his image, but a mind like his, so full of ideas, leaves little room for patience. I would inquire more into the matter, but in truth, you have done this institution a favor. Were his transgressions ever to reach the public, there would be a terrible uproar. I was blind to have trusted him a second time. His tone takes an ominous quality that reverberates all around you. I trust you will be more cautious in future inquiries.
Greetings.
No, probably not.
Yes.
Well, then Acolyte showed me a vision of an agent in a place of misery and madness. I need to find this agent and discover his or her plan to see. Well, isn't that where I'm at?
Good day, stranger.
History lesson, rare pleasure, 40th year, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. It's PTSD. I think we cleared out the bottom. We discovered the agent, though. Does anything happen if I leave? No? I uncovered the Leaden Key operative in the sanitarium. So we subdued him. Maybe we should go back down below.
You must gather your party.
Maybe I need to read something. Because sometimes when you You read like the journal pages and stuff, it'll progress the story. Also, what is this? Let's learn that. That was Grim's cell, right? Or was it this one?
I'll see what I can find.
Nothing in there. Bailey construction complete. Nice. Hey, a bloodstone. Also, the bodies are gone. Let's see. Bailey construction complete. What do we build now? What do we build now? Lore bonus? Nah. Maybe we should do... Getting a merchant to sell stuff to would be cool. But... we should probably get this one. So we can defend ourselves versus the bandit attacks. Where is what's his face journal? That's what I was wanting to look for. Midwife's memoirs. Maybe this is why I should sell everything. Also, no.
You must gather.
How fares your search? Well, let's hear it. Forgive me, it is unlike Theos to leave witnesses. He must be furious. He did not aid you as you'd hoped, I take it? Well, take heart. With any luck, when he has finished his business, he will surely come and find you again, if only to kill you while you sleep. This news of yours makes sense, of course. To dabble in animancy is to puzzle over the secrets of the gods. This would not be the Leaden Key's first action against it. But if this is connected to their other activities, we may be in for something on a much larger scale. That isn't enough to take to the Duke, but we're close. Avar Wolfgren is a cautious man.
Aha.
He will want to know everything possible before being moved to action.
Oh, so that one's is done now. I see. It's grayed out. Okay, let's go give that one guy his breastplate. I'm hoping when we give them the breastplate, maybe they will sell us stuff. Maybe they have some cool stuff to sell us. We should go, well, hang on. We could give the guy his breastplate as well. We could check out in the first fires. There was also that place where they had the knights. There was a blacksmith there too. That it was like, well, you got to do some stuff for us in order to open it up. And that was here, the Crucible Keep. I doubt we'll have this open. But I want to talk to that Cypher guy. It wasn't, his name was a Cypher. It was Cliver. Cliver, Pinhelm was a douchebag. Just letting you know. I'm looking for information on... I have information about Eorn. Filthy little flea picker. How did he manage to kill a Knight of the Crucible? Now there's a question. When does this say he was drunk and arguing with the man? If I had to guess, I'd say the sneaky bastard had a weapon on him and took the Justicar by surprise. The cow ran off before anyone knew what he'd done. That's all I wanted to know.
What is it?
Right, they wanted me to do something about that guy. Oh look, it's the chick from the crypt, right? We need to deal with Heritage Hill. I already dealt with it. Fucking lazy bastards. Commander Cliver. Okay, so now the Pinhelm thing does nothing for interactions with him. And then our dwarf
I suppose
bro.
Cleaver sent you down here to get me working on those forge knights, eh?
Oh. Okay. Let's go turn in our breastplate then. Kappa Lane. Man, I wanted to get into the endless dungeon tonight, but I'm not sure that's gonna happen. There's just so much to do in this city. It's bonkers. We also need to talk to one of the ladies here because we're investigating some murders. This dude's gonna be so happy we found his armor. What up, dude? Is this the armor you wanted? He wavers a moment in disbelief. He looks at you. Then he back at the best plate. Then he kisses you on the cheek. Reaches for it slowly as if he was expecting it to disappear before he can touch it. How did you manage this? You were right about the affidavit. Unfortunately, Penhelm forced me into a fight. A shame it ended like that. But he's the lying weasel who started it. You did all I asked, and you were owed much. He withdraws a leather coin purse from his pocket and hands it to you. Stop by Sonald's shop on the other side of the hall. She sells some of the best gear in the city. And I'll see that she opens up her inventory to you. Yes. What is this armor to you anyways? He looks around, trying to appear casual. It's nothing really, just a keepsake. It commemorates the Order of Mogren, highest order of valor, awarded to the dead, never the living. Us Deerwoodans, real Deerwoodans, we don't have the nobility of birthrights. Unless you're some copper fucker from a year. All we got is the honor we bring to our family name. I gotta remember this insult, copper fucker. We're calling every single enemy from here on out in the game a copper fucker. Copper fucker. There's a new one. So this, he pauses, considering the weathered metal. A pale image of its former self, but still catching the light, is something to live up to. Very well. Quest completed. Nice. All right. Let's get over here. Let's see what she has to offer us.
Well met, friend.
Show me your wares. She's got exceptional stuff. Exceptional is the enchant, right? Yeah, 8 accuracy, plus 30 damage. Whew. Okay. And it's 6k. Dandied hat of a diseased yak? Bile stompers. Oh, okay. Oh, she's got... Okay, hang on. Wait, what? Okay. Berserker belt? Rage bonus. What is this? Plus 20% frenzy duration, only usable by we don't have a barbarian, so. Plus 12 will. Will defense opposes attacks that are mentally based. Yep. Bile stompers. Plus 5 damage reduction for corrode, I guess. Grants minor fetid caress. Well, we could buy those. Plus 2 might, plus 1 constitution. Dude. I want to buy those. That'll be great for our tanky dude. Plus 2 resolve. Resolve reflects a character's internal drive, determination, fearlessness, and emotional intensity. They can protect others. It can be useful for mental intimidation. I think that's a pass. Cloak of the Fox and Hunter. Summon noble creature. 1 per rest. It's probably better than anything else we got. This is going to be like all of my money. At least half of it. Whispers of Treason. Oh, it's a charm. Okay. Resolve and Constitution, that one's pretty good too. It's literally all my money. Yeah, why not? These are like best items I've seen so far. So I want to give this guy these gloves for sure. So of Might and Constitution. So Constitution is max health and endurance. Might is of course damage. Actually, you know what? We might give these to Wizard Boy here, who doesn't have gloves. So he can do more damage. Wait, why? Where did they go? Okay, I see. And let's go to him. Minor ring of deflection. These are both minor. Okay. Give that to him. That back on him. Of will 9. That will be better. These are healing, right? Intellect and resolve, that's healing bonus. She has spell defense bonus. Let's give her that instead. Hang on. I just fucked her armor, didn't I? Yeah, this goes here. Not there. Sort by sell value high. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, bile stoppers. We're gonna put that on somebody. Minor fetid caress. 5 damage reduction to corrode. I guess we'll just give that to him. His boots didn't change. Let's give him black. Black on black. I should probably sell to her as well. Yeah, let's sell.
Hello.
Defect win. Congratulations, sir. I'm gonna hold him to the shield. I don't know why I'm holding on to the grimoires, I just am. Should really use this thing. Posted a screenshot as well. Nice. 779 block when you won. Holy crap, dude. That is a lot of block. All right, farewell.
Well?
Farewell.
You must gather your party before venturing.
Pliers, those frost orbs are OP. I do like frost orbs. What's up, cat? My cats are in heaven today. I got out the electric blanket. I swear to God, it's like they remembered exactly what it was. When they saw it, their eyes lit up. More assassins. That's fine. It's kind of fine. That's a lot of assassins, man, and I have no spells. So root everybody in place, we can do that. The fuck's this wolf going? Turn around. Where is the summon companion? Here we go. It's like a little, it's a little like hound. Oh my god, it's so cute. Alright, Aloth, let's try and get this going here. I'm gonna need Urist to get crazy. Why does this hit? That's not good. That's a cone. We're gonna hit the wolf. I think I'm okay with that though. Am I? No, I'm not. This will be okay though. Damn, that hit for 70. Holy shit. What's going on here? Okay, this guy, let's pop a Q. Holy shit.
That's not very helpful.
Shaman away! Give me your armor, it looks cool.
As you wish.
The Beagle. The Beagle won. Nice. All this free loot.
Well? What?
Oh, he just kept running. I kind of feel like I should bump it up to hard now, because I feel like I'm doing really well in all these normal fights. But I want to do the
Good day, stranger.
Cadnua dungeon first. See how I fare there. No, I don't want to order any refreshments.
Gods keep you.
I want to get a room.
Yes.
Yes?
Sweet. Creates a nullifying field of antagonistic, what the fuck? Antagonistic magic energy around a chosen point, suppressing all beneficial effects on enemies in the area of effect.
As you say.
Okay.
Yes.
Boom, ambushed again. I need to play some more Slay the Spire. It's been about a week. Kiana stops chanting Mr. Sandman. Alright. Let's open it up. What gloves does he have? Of dexterity +2, so he's attacking a little bit faster, right? Okay.
What is it?
Laura is the one we
How
need
do
to
you
talk to.
do?
I'm looking into some disappearance. I heard that your sister's gone missing. I didn't think anyone would help me. When Cora disappeared, I tried Thunder Row, the Crucible Knights, even the dozens here. No one had time to look for missing girl then. That was 3 weeks ago. Oh, she's dead. Case closed. If there's anything I can tell you that will help, just ask. What was she doing around the time she disappeared? She had just gotten into this acting troupe called the Laura's Brows Knit. You know this, concentrate. The Revel of Stars, that's it. Where did you last see your sister? She was at her house getting ready for a big performance. That was 3 weeks ago. Did you see her with anyone when she disappeared? She is very sociable. She always enjoyed crowds. I'm afraid I can't narrow it beyond that. Tell me about her. She's my younger sister, always had a head full of dreams. She was convinced there was something special waiting for her, that she'd be remembered and happy and important. She's got plenty of heart, but not the commitment to match it. Still, when she got that theater job, I thought she was about to turn around. You don't know how much this means to me, just to know that somebody's actually looking for her. Anything else I can do for you? Nope. Cool. So let's see, the final act. Speak with the 3 contacts. Well, we spoke to her. The Revel of Stars. Well, there is an amphitheater here. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be here, right? Statuesque woman has a gaze that could cut stone. She turned her chiseled cheekbones to the sky and favors you with a look of acknowledgement. Her eyes shimmer under silvered eyeshadow in a razor precise line of kohl. Before you can speak, she throws her hand up in a dramatic fashion.
Gods keep you.
I was wondering if a woman named Cora was a part of your group. Autographs after the performance, please. Great art requires great concentration, and greatness is expected from the Revel of Stars. I can't say I recognize the name. She suddenly seems focused on the length of her fingernails. You can remember lines from a play, but not the name of a fellow actor. My work requires great focus and attention. She flicks her fingertips in frustration. I don't have the time to memorize the name of every ingenue who joins our troupe for a week. I suppose I can spare a moment for a fan. What is the Revel of Stars? We are the finest theater troupe in the city. We believe that the best art is immersive and true to life. We staged your performances right here in Copper Lane for the edification of all. There's a Revel of Stars taking many new members, but of course, good drama is a balm to the soul, and we wish to offer a true theatrical experience to as many as possible. What kind of members do you take? We'll take in the new and the old, the tall and the small, the experienced and the inexperienced, whatever is best suited to fulfill roles to the utmost. How long do you keep members? As long as they are able to satisfy the demands of their roles. True acting can be the grueling process, so some last longer than others. I'd like to ask something else. What do you do? That depends entirely. Demands of the role. I am the Pallid Knight, the Widow of the Wood, the Warrior Queen Makga. And at all at different times, to live different life each day is a glorious thing indeed, my friend. She didn't tell us much. Okay, we could probably talk to this guy.
What is it?
Yeah. I'm gonna be right back 1 second. Let's ask this guy. Sorry, can't talk right now. Do we have to wait until after their performances or whatever? Let's see, audience member? Nope. Can we come up on the stage? Is anybody back over here? Can we just run in here and talk to people? That's kind of rude, right? Okay. Damn, what's the line? Who knows? The trail's gone cold.
Gods keep you.
There's no other options to talk. I bet this guy is the guy we need to talk to.
What do you suppose that bally thing is?
What's this? Summon 3 wood beetle? Bloxon? Okay. And then it's a mammothist. Okay. Nice.
Yes.
Okay. Joe Kinda. We'll have to look for more leads later. What's next? I guess we can go to, man, we got so many quests. Retrieve the stolen scroll. Grimda says the path to different. Okay, that's way on. And this guy, yeah. I don't know. I don't feel like turning this guy in. I feel like this whole thing is a big misunderstanding. He did kill a guy though. He did kill a guy. Alright, let's go check out a new part of town. AKA Andre's Gift. We have yet to be to this part of town. Snatch. Oh, should I go in here? Is there a reason for me to go in here? This is like a...
Hail, traveler.
I don't think so. Right, okay.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
I know. We'll be alright. Let's just go to the rich part of town. I think that's what this is, right?
You must gather your party before venturing.
A local lad has reported missing. Those with information as to the location of the boy Darren. He's got Oda. Okay. Just take that cheese. This can't be the rich part of town. Number of refugees, man. Abandoned house. Here to chill. Alien Trading Company. Salty Mast. Okay. Well, I'm down to check out an abandoned house. Why not? Definitely gonna be some crackheads in here. Yep. What are you doing here? This is our place. Could really use a pinch, man. Stuff. Kill all these people, nobody would ever know. So yeah, this definitely isn't the rich part of town. Does make you want to play this type of game again? You should, man. This game is amazing. Darkest Dungeon made me want to play this game. Because I wanted to play like a turn-based game, or well, a Darkest Dungeon type game. Because Darkest Dungeon has a lot of like role-playing type elements into it, but I wanted like a more like expanded experience. Whereas Darkest Dungeon is more like a roguelite.
As you wish.
That's not stealing. That's not stealing. You can't just barge into somebody's home like this. What do you think you are? Who are you? The elf who lives here. Now get out. Alright, I mean, that's fair enough. Am I going to play the sequel for this one? Yes. I actually already bought the sequel because it was on sale on GOG.com for like 60% off. You can buy the Obsidian Edition, I think it's called, which is like...
Never been to Nasitak. Is it very cold? What creatures wander the tundra? How are your leaders chosen?
Do you always ask this many questions?
Well, that's just to get us started. Let me get out some parchment for notes.
Ask whatever you want. If I don't know, I'll make something up.
So yeah, the Obsidian Edition is like the main game, and then it's like the season pass DLC type deal. So all the DLC and stuff. We weren't even at the door and we heard wailing. I'm excited to play the sequel to this game because I know the sequel is like... I've heard a lot of people say that it's not as good. I know like the writer, the guy that wrote most of the... Well, the guy that wrote pretty much all the story, dialogue and everything for this game, he left the company before they made the second game. Or maybe while they were making the second game. I think it was before. So the story isn't as good, supposedly. But it's still a very good game. And I know most of the second game is voice acted. And also, supposedly it's turn-based combat, which I think I would like more than this whole, like, pausing every 2 seconds sort of stuff. Campfire. Uh-oh. As you enter the room, you see several figures huddled together. They stand at attention, armed but not in matched gear like the Crucible Knights. At the center of the group, one woman looms over another, holding a flail. She snarls at the cowering figure. You've got pages of research here. You expect me to believe this was just your scratch work? It's nothing, I promise, just my notes. What is this thing here? What? It's like some kind of like... What? We know you were meeting with the Crucible Knights. You think they're the only ones with power in this city? They call us the Dozens for a reason. Now I won't ask you again. At a nudge from one of her men, the woman turns and sees you watching. Her eyes narrow. You shouldn't be here! What's going on in here? She tightens up her grip on her flail. Nothing you need to know about. Oh. So they want to just close that door. Let's see what's in here. What does this do? Immunity to sick and weaken? Right.
I'll see what I can find. I'll see what I can find.
Oh, there's campfire in there. Campwood. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. I ain't taking no gruff from her.
Ready, Watcher.
What is it?
Let's put our boy Urist there. This guy here. Nope.
Yes?
Yep. Clicked on you here.
What?
Put him in the middle.
How may I help?
This guy here.
Hey.
What is it?
Hey.
What up, y'all? That dog just ran the fucking holy shit. Let's knock that guy down. Let's go in and beast mode that. We're gonna get a pretty sweet slicking off. That guy is an ally, so let's make sure we get the yellow circle like this. Hacha! Perfect. And then, let's go snap, crackle, pop. Drop the Christ hammer right in his nutsack. Let's also do some burn damage. Speaking of burn damage, we're just gonna set everybody ablaze. Alright, let's have him go on him, and we're gonna knock him down. And then we'll have Urist charge into this guy. This guy is doing absolutely dick all. She can shoot that guy. Actually, is there somebody... I wish I could turn the camera or something. I think there's a guy here. There is. Antelope Companion. That's what it is. In that case, you know what I should do? Charm Beast. She can attack him. Dodwinia. Antelope's dead.
Beyond sleep.
Oh, she got shocked. Well, these people will not trouble you anymore. Biana. Face covered in bruises and her eyes are wide with shock and relief. I don't know who you are, but thank you. Rapid hitching breathes punctuate her words. I was sure they were going to kill me. She wipes a tear from her cheek, wincing as her knuckles graze a bruise. What just happened here? I thought I was coming here to meet my friend from the Republic, so it looks like I walked into a trap. She shakes her head. The dozens must have been watching me for a while. I'd been working on a special project for the Crucible Knights, and they weren't exactly subtle about contacting me. About this project. It deals with a rather rare branch of animancy. No offense, but I probably shouldn't get too specific without Commander Cliver's permission. He commissioned it after all. And you can see the trouble a little indiscretion has gotten me into. Tell me about yourself. I studied animancy in Ozia. Back in the Valian Republics, I came to Defiance Bay to research local advances, but instead of going to Brackenbury Sanitarium, I found a position as a scrivener at the Temple of Whale. I've had access to many rare manuscripts that most animancers never see. Of course, I've had to keep my head down. I've been careful not to let the head librarian or my colleagues know what I'm working on. Let's get out of here. Commander Cliver of the Crucible Knights is waiting on my research. Not that you haven't already done a lot for me, but maybe you could take it to him. I've kept it with me to prevent it from falling into the wrong hands, but you can see how well that worked out. She took it from me when I arrived. Anyhow, don't wait on me. I can make my way out of here. Cool.
Well?
Ooh, heavy armor. Now we got move speed. Deflection. Okay. That's our research. Nice. Just some regular shiz. Okay.
Well?
What else we got here? A hammer and chisel. The rope coiled around the chair feels painfully scratchy.
Of course.
Ugh. The water in the pail is murky with blood. Murky. I believe as well with the sequel to Pillars of Eternity, you can like import the character that you play this game with, which I will definitely do. We'll continue on the Urist McUrist. What up, sailor? Hick.
Well,
you drunk as fuck. All right, this just takes us anywhere. We can go to the first fire to turn that research. Come back. It's really funny because in playing this game, it's really kind of like...
Ah, the life of a
hang
traveler.
on.
So many ruins to uncover, places to see.
Indeed. Though after 5 years, I'll be ready for a break.
It is true. You have been at it far longer than I. Where will you go next, when you have all the world to choose from?
Home, of course.
Look at the way she walks. It's funny, in playing this game, and I've played it for like maybe 10 hours, like 10, 15 hours or so now. Let me go this way. It's really like, I've never really played like a classic RPG kind of like this before, and it's really like struck a chord with me. And I've had a lot of people like recommend a lot of games to me over the past week. I don't want to try out all of them. But at the same time, it's like I still want to... I got to get through this game first. But I want to make sure to take my time. Like Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight would be great too, but Hollow Knight isn't like Divinity Original Sin or this game or Pathfinder. Hollow Knight would be cool though. Hollow Knight is on my wish list. He's up here. I got some research here. I got her notes. Well done. Bring them to Dunstan at once. When you finished, I may have more work for you. All right, who is
I'll see what I can do.
Dunstan?
The work of a moment.
A turban, a breastplate, and a fine warbow. That was 8 lockpicks. My god. But we got 200 XP, I guess. That's something. Wow, somebody robbed all of these chests. How unfortunate. There's Wyla. Okay, where the F is this guy? Oh wait, is that the name of the blacksmith? It is.
I suppose Cleaver sent you down here to get me working on those forge nights, eh?
I think this is what you've been looking for.
That's what Cleaver's been looking for anyway. If you found it, I guess I've got to start.
You don't sound too happy about this. I'm not, and I've made it clear to Cliver that this is a mistake. Trying to harness souls like this, it's a crime against the gods. And it's bound to earn us more trouble than it saves. But Cliver's given me his orders, so I've got to build these things as best I can. Anyway, Cliver's told me I am to sell you any arms or armor you might want. You won't find better anywhere in Defiance Bay, I promise you that.
Now, time to see if that Valian was worth all that blood and copper.
Nice. We got another vendor.
I'll be damned. To be honest, even I wasn't expecting it to work this well. Back to it. Cleaver will want me to finish the rest of them. It sounded like he has a job for you, too.
Also, his name's Cleaver. How about that? Okay, what does he have? The White Spire, a two-handed sword. Grant's Blizzard. Ooh. Hendrick's Coat. Shod and Faith. Forge Master's Gloves. Grants consecrated ground when hit by critical hit. It's a friendly AoE. Whoa! Does it just automatically work? Priestess who first wore these boots was a devotee of Brath, and so steadfast in her faith that she eschewed the use of healing spells and potions of battle. She believed that Brath would preserve her until the end of her appointed cycle, at which point the god of life and death would take her soul due. Even others in the priesthood scoffed at her recklessness, and yet she was never felled in the battle. The most furious onslaughts of her enemies only seemed to revitalize her, and she was a very old woman when she finally passed in her sleep. Dude. Right, so... I mean... Is there a better version of these? Like 9... "10 endurance over 1 second doesn't seem like a lot, but like putting that on a tank, if it's just automatic, that'd be great." Grants Firebrand, summon weapon Firebrand. Universal Greatsword. It's a two-handed like fire sword. That's kind of cool. And you've got torches. I'm curious how these boots work. More damage reduction. A lot more damage reduction.
Hey.
Hey. You're headed out, Saber Shot? Alright, man. Well, have a good evening.
All right, then.
Well?
I think I might be closing up shop 2 here in a second. So which one do we just complete? The Blackhound Inn and Gilded Vale lost his beloved cook. I did not do this one. No, we did that one. That's stupid. Okay.
You must.
I'm gonna be stuck in this town forever, man. Is that necessarily a bad thing, though? Twin Elms. I wonder how much more of the map we have left to explore. Imagine there's a lot more stuff here and here. This is probably going to be like as many quests as they have over here. This is like a freaking head here. The hell? Alright. Let's go back to Andra's Gift. What all do we have to do here? Formulated with by the keys activities. We did that, didn't we? We gotta do the salty mist. Explore the endless paths. Continue to get endurance. So we just need to... Alright. So we actually don't have a ton left to do in the city, do we? We have pretty much this Far From Home. Right now we have Far From Home. We have the final act. I'm sure we're gonna get more stuff here, though. Let's go to the Salty Mast. Oh shit. This dude got fucked up. This man's fancy clothes are ripped, blood flows from a fresh cut above his eye. He tries to push himself up, but his arms are shaking. He winces painfully. Help him up. Thank you. My head. What happened? I was on my way to the club. Unts. He slowly stretches out one leg, grimacing at his scraped knee. It's a rough part of town, but the rabble's never been violent. I couldn't have been more far off saying this is the rich part of town. Holy shit. Even a night with a collie isn't worth this. I guess that's how you say that name. That's it. What was the point of all that? Certainly inside somebody will have something to say about that. Can we travel here? No. I was hoping we could get on a boat, we could sail away.
Nothing like this in Gilded Vale. Just Wallaruna the milkmaid. She knew what she was doing. Waterdale and prostitution. A bastion of Deerwooden culture.
I hope you aren't expecting to find the leaden key in here.
Visit new lands, see the sights. I do love travel.
Find a home for my other staff.
Durance. He's the fucking best. Captain Pepperjack. I want to know what this guy's deal is. You see the prow of a ship slice through the deck of another. A Valian spice vessel and are immediately accosted by splintering wooden panic. The pirates are upon the ship in the space of a shout, all elbows, gold earrings, and violence. Crewmen are hauled, shoved, and punched off the deck as the dog-eared captain boards. The hunt begins immediately as water begins to claim the wounded merchant vessels. The larger cargo boxes are ignored entirely in favor of the smaller, more delicate boxes and jars. The captain stands, water snarling around his ankles as he waits for each of his crew to return to the ship with their plunder. Counting them off, he takes a running jump and grabs the railing, hauling himself aboard as the remains of the merchant vessels are devoured by the ocean below. The crew applauds, raucous cheers and laughter as they begin to sort through the valuable Valian spices. The Fansington would eat well tonight. I mean, his outfit is on point. Can I sell at Captain Pepperjack? And can I do it today? Whoa! Terms of service. So who are we looking for here? Potentially Ollie. Cyril. You think that's Cyril? Maybe she goes by a different name.
Keeping an eye out.
Yoink. Big Dermsy. The Orland man seems to walk with a slight limp. He doesn't say anything, but he stops and regards you with interest. What's wrong with your leg, dude? He laughs and shakes his head. How much? He holds up 5... No, what?
What is it?
I almost just bought an Orland prostitute, I think. Oh, there's Ollie. Alright, just get past that. The man is at a table by himself, but he constantly glances at the opposite bench. As if waiting for someone, he reeks of alcohol, and he moves with the torpor of someone who's gotten used to spending most of his time drunk. His table's taken. Find another. He spreads his elbows on the wood and pulls his drink between them. I've got questions about Lindry. His face twists into the confused scowl. What's it to you? Let's do the resolve. Lindry was your friend. The least you can do is answer a few questions. Yeah, fine. You don't have to get out of your small clothes in a knot about it. Wow. Don't be racist, buddy. So, what was it you were wanting to do with Lindry? Tell me about him. He spent most of his time here, drinking with me. Tells you enough, doesn't it? He takes a gulp of his drink and shrugs. He didn't volunteer details, and I didn't ask, but he had a working man's hands and a working man's taste for drink. And where did you last see him? Right here, getting drinks with me. Just like we have every night for the last 5 years. I couldn't actually tell you much about him, and I think he preferred it that way. It's probably why we got along so well. Plenty of things we didn't talk about. Anyway, I remember that night because he said things were finally turning around. He was going to find a steady job, clean up, have another crack at that respectable life. I told him in that case he could buy the drinks. That's when she showed up. Who's the woman you're talking about? A real fancy lady named Lumdala. Taps his head. I don't remember much these days, but I remember her. Usually you have to pay a month's copper to spend time with a woman like that. But Lumdala, she was falling all over Lindry that night, left with him too. Where did they go? She said they were going to see some frilly performance. Ooh, maybe they're connected. If you ask me, they had their own plans to perform that night. She just said they had to pick something up at her house in Copper Lane first, some cozy little place by the northern gate. Even a drunk like me knows what that means. Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay. That's a pretty big lead, I'd say. We're not gonna steal that. I know where that person's house is. I knew that name before. Whoa! Look at this thing.
How do you do?
How much? 600. Hell no, dude. Look at this guy. What are these moves? Are they sick? What's in this chest? Clothing? Alright.
I'll have it in no time. I'll see what I can do.
Lounge is for special members only. Ooh, Cyril's guards. Alright. If you wanted to meet Cyril, talk to me. Who? All these rules. Just trying to get with a prostitute, man. Hey, I want your best prostitute.
How do you do?
The Mao woman watches you suspiciously. One hand is tense at her side, but as you approach, she relaxes and gives you a friendly, if wary, smile. I don't see many outfitted like you who aren't looking for trouble. You aren't looking for trouble, are you? Is there someone here named Cyril? You must be new in town, dearie. She is only the most sought-after girl in the district. If you want to spend time with her, just ask. She's 1,000 for the night. She's worth every pand, or so they tell me. Okay. You find her quarters upstairs. Don't mind the burly fellows at the door. They're just here to make sure everyone's good. All right, man. We paid her a coin. Let's get her dicks wet.
Good day to you.
Hello, stranger. Let me make you more comfortable. It is rather warm in here.
Good day to you.
Back again. There is something I need to discuss with you. Just tell me what you like. If it's extra, if you want to bring someone else in, though. Your friend Tristan sent me. Tristan? The fuck is his name? He needs that medallion. So do I. I offered him his half of the money, and he refused. I'm sure he told you all about his broken clan. Did he also tell you that I got him where he is today? I'm really sorry for him, but I'll bet you anything he lives better now than he did in Glanfirth. I've worked a long time for a way out, and I'm not giving it up just because Thurston's suddenly gotten nostalgic. I'll buy it from you. She laughs. It's worth 6,000 pounds. If you've got that kind of coin, I'll gladly help you spend it.
Hail and well met.
I mean, I feel like honestly, this is like honestly the best resolution right here, right? I mean, if she's being honest with us and she's being legitimate, then he really has no right to ask, right? What is it? Far from home? Met with the barbarian, he and a prostitute worked together by fleecing wealthy nobles. Oh, right. That's right. He was a pimp. She came in possession of a medallion. Now she wants to sell it. But he wants to bring it home to his broken clan.
Good day, stranger.
I can certainly make it worth your while. Okay. Well, this is going to get interesting. How much money we have now? 5K. We could almost buy it. That'd be a lot of money, though. To buy a prostitute's necklace. Hey girl, you look like you're going to have a good time, honey, but I'm all open for business. This place is shady, I must say. You'd figure there'd be assassins lurking around every corner over here. So that was in Brackenberry, right? At the Charred Barrel. Let's go here. You can't own women. I don't know what year it is, but it's a year. It's 28-23, man. You can't own women. I don't get it.
Hello.
Yeah, she's worked hard. He clenches his fingers at the edge of a single sleeve. I don't want to. I'd give her everything else I have. I just want to help my clan. Take your half of the payout or don't, but leave her alone. He regards you carefully. Tell her to enjoy a big house, fine clothes, and as many rings as she can fit in those dainty fingers while my clan starves. He pulls his cloak tight around his shoulder. One day, I hope someone reminds her of her humble beginnings. He storms away, fine cloak on the ground. Alright. You can own men, though? True. It's a double standard. I'm about to go buy a man so I can do these quest. We should go this way. Right, this will be quicker. Let's go turn this quest in real quick. And then we'll go to Copper Lane to check out that one lady's house. And that's probably where we're going to wrap up for tonight. Oh shit, it is foggy.
I wonder, Aloth, don't you ever feel curious about Isilmir's history? But think of the opportunities. You could learn so much about the past.
I'm happy not knowing.
As you wish.
Certainly I won't have to buy another night with this lady. That would be fucking criminal.
Hail, traveler.
I sent this away. He won't bother you anymore. She looks down. I wish things hadn't turned out like this, but thank you. I hope he finds happiness in his new life, whatever he chooses. Twin Elms minor negative. Huh. Her hand closes tightly around something nestled under her bodice. She pulls a moonstone ring off her finger. Please take this. It's always giving me an edge with the people around here. Cyril's ring added to inventory. Of resolve +2. What is Urist's resolve? $15. There's been lots of resolve checks. And we failed them because we were just a little bit short. You know what? Let's give this ring to him. Now his resolve is like 20. Yep.
What is it?
So I think that's good though. We don't want him to be paralyzed like ever. So I believe that's what resolve does. It helps out with CC effects. So that way he's always able to like buff our party and heal and stuff. At least that's my line of thinking. Imagine a minor negative isn't going to be a huge deal. Okay, so let's go to Lindala's house. Just because I assume if we go to Twin Elms, there'll probably be plenty of stuff to do there. Copper Lane. Here we go. Oh wait, what does this guy have? A young boy watches the passerby and counts grimly a hand of coins. His face and arms are smudged with dirt, except for the grass stains. His clothes are in good condition. As you approach, he blinks and makes quick, furtive effort to pocket his coins. Hey, mister, want to know a secret? I know a real good secret. Careful, I've traveled the continent and the hardest bargains still come from my 7-year-old. What is it? He shrugs. I just saw folks hiding some really neat things. I could show you where, but Mom and Dad told me not to talk to strangers. Maybe you could help me with something, then we wouldn't be strangers. Help you with what? The Crucible Knights have these daggers made out of March steel. It's the best steel around except for Durgan steel, which doesn't count because no one makes any anymore. Anyway, there's this merchant over by the expedition hall, and he has a dagger made of real March steel. He said he wouldn't sell it to me because I'm a kid, and kids don't know anything about daggers. But that's not true. I know lots about daggers. I know about the different kinds of steel. I know how the Crucible Knights make them in a forge. I know that the tip can pierce low gauge scale armor. That one that's good and sharp can cut through bone. See, I know plenty about daggers. This kid's kind of creepy. And I really, really want this one. And if you could just get it for me, I promise I'll never, ever ask anyone for anything ever again. March Steel, the lad has good taste. I only ever had a little shark stickers as a child, mostly for oysters. Still managed to poke a hole through my palm once. You can't have a dagger, you'll poke your eye out. So, Christmas story. What would Urist do? What would Urist do? Not the bite one. I don't think he would be deceptive. I feel like he would be rational. But if I'm going to be a real warrior, I have to start training young, just like the heroes in the stories. I just know I was a great warrior in my previous life. My mom even says I have an old soul. Fine, I'll help you. I knew a real adventurer would understand. He points to a large building. There's a big merchant over by Amiston who sells weapons. He's the one with a dagger. I'll wait right here for you. Okay. Let's go harm little kids. March Steel Dagger.
How do you do?
So the Crucible Knights use, let me guess, you've been talking to that kid, right? I've been tempted to sell it to you anyway. It's not the little rascal learned his lesson, but a pack of adventurers already took it off my hands. The adventurers you sold the dagger to, where are they now? Folk like that only visit Copper Lane, should crew up at Amiston Expedition Hall, or down at a pint at the Goose Fox. And since they weren't headed into the den well, you've got my best guess. Tell me more about the dagger. Made out of high purity iron ore that comes out of the White March Mountains. Traditionally, the smiths at the Crucible Keep have smelted it into daggers and swords, which they only give to the Knights of the Crucible. Of course, I'd be surprised if that kid didn't already tell you all this. And March Steel daggers are only given to Crucible Knights. How'd you get your hands on one? He pauses mid-polish, his cloth slowing over the blade. A lot of steel passes through my hands, friend. I don't make it my business to ask where it comes from. I'm not trying to get you into trouble, but you should be careful about what you trade and whom you trade with. Trafficking stolen goods is risky. Appreciate the concern, but there's no need to worry. I keep my nose clean enough. Okay. Let's head back over here to this person's house. This is the right one, right? Yeah, Limdala's house. We'll follow up on that storyline tomorrow.
Keeping an eye out.
Any keys in here?
Hello? Hello?
Painting depicts the famous scene from Light of the Dawn, which the traveler goes happens upon a
Light,
starving man.
flame, and sound.
Well,
Keep to ourselves. Laying low.
There are 2 pairs of shoes here. But there's nothing here. And we don't have a key, and it doesn't tell us what kind of key we need.
What?
Maybe there's something around the house.
Yours. He may have returned to
Margaret's
drunk or an
fire
invalid.
casts light in dark
Maybe,
places.
but the search for Persock is just as important as what I find.
That's right. And what if you return empty-handed, huh?
I never return empty-handed.
Wow. Let's ask this Jessica if you've seen anything. Nope. Very weird. The lights are on. I don't know. I do not know. They were going to her home in Cleveland, somewhere near the northern end of the district. Well, we're going to need the key to get in there, but where will we get the key? It did sound like those two were related, though. I'm going to come over to the amphitheater, see if anything's over here. Oh, we're splitting up. Nice. Oh, look at this. It's Lundala again.
Greetings.
Uh-huh. That drunk in Andra's gift, men flatter themselves when it comes to the attentions of beautiful women. The Ballad Knight herself could waltz into that bar, and he believed she was there to sit on his lap and listen to bawdy stories. The Ballad Knight. I think I courted her once. She hated being called that. I trust his word more than yours. He has nothing to gain by lying. Or you have a point. I assure you, whatever impression I gave this Holly character required no theatrics on my part. But let's talk of something else. I, Connor Sort, nigh to be trusted. I suppose I can spare a moment for a fan. Man. It's another dead end. Let's talk to this guy now, maybe? Sorry, can't talk right now. Shit. Another dead end.
Yes?
What is it?
I just need to beat the hell out of her. I'm sure she has like a key or something.
Slow and silent.
Greetings.
What's behind that door in there, lady? I don't We'll have to pick this mystery up tomorrow. Because for now, I'm going to get off. And I am going to drink some water and lemon. Because I am losing my voice. It was a fun night. We got a lot done. And, yeah, I think we've done just about everything we can do so far in Defiance Bay. This place has been great, though. I'm sure there's more to do. But, yeah. It'd be cool to journey out and to see more of the world. It's kind of crazy how, like, you spend the first little bit of the game tackling the Gilded Vale, and then you just check out Valewood, Easternwood, Black Meadow, Magran's Fork, even Wooded Plains, just these couple like little wooded areas. You're just in there for like a minute, and then there's like boom, it's city time. I think when I do finish this though, we're gonna do some of the dungeons in Cadnua. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks for watching my stream. We'll do it again tomorrow night. Assuming my voice holds up. And yeah, y'all take care as well. It's a pleasure as always.